Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button in your way in. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Don Husam right here. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking on your way in. Make sure you guys are subscribing. More Liverpool content. I don't know why. And I just want to address this quickly. The problem is on this platform. That a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth. This is probably like our 6th Friday 11 p.m. show in a row. Of course, we've been doing the Husam X Tom X Callum show. I've been doing shows every Monday just by myself talking about the game. That's other than the pre-records. I'll always do Liverpool content. I'm not waiting for Liverpool to lose to make content, you guys. I always make content. I always talk about my club. I love my club and I want my club to win. And a difference in opinion does not make me a fake fan, despite all the attempts from the snakes in the grass. Big up to all of you guys. Big up to everyone locked in. Like and subscribe, people. And joining me first and foremost is the long-lost Beetle, ladies and gentlemen. And he's here today. He hasn't been on the channel in a while. I think he's secretly a Forest fan, but we all love him regardless. Man like Ram is in the building. Hi, Ram.
I was going to say, Husam, you sound a bit mellow today. Is everything okay, bro? Is everything okay? It's a bit mellow.
Yeah, everything's okay, bro. Don't worry about it. Alhamdulillah. We rise above it always. Alhamdulillah.
Of course, man. But happy to be back, man. Happy to be back. Looking to chop things up, pause on everything Liverpool, man. We're still winning.
How do you pause, chop things up? Chopping things up is not a pause at all.
I've known your chat for too long. Them minds go elsewhere, bro.
I promise you, chat. Put one in the chat if you think it's not a pause right now. Just put one in the chat. The number one in the chat. I want to prove to him. Chop it up is a pause. First of all, that's disgusting. That's not a pause to begin with, because you don't want to chop it up like that to begin with. That hurts. That's not a pause. Fraud. But anyway, we love you regardless, guys. The Ram stand is in the description. Joining us as well, the 6th Champions League is behind him. You get me? Locked and loaded, ready to unleash. Everyone's favorite K on the channel. Man like Kmack is in the building. How you doing, Kmack? You're on mute. Yes, unmute yourself.
Unmuted. Hit the likes on the way in, everyone. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. He's on the road to 50k. I'm good. Hope everyone's well. And yeah, I'm seeing Paul McCartney now. Sorry, Rams.
Big up to you.
Big up. You don't get a haircut, man.
Big up, K-Mac, man. Big up. Ram, I think if you went bald, it would actually look good on you. As long as you had a beard.
I've had that phase. It didn't.
Are you sure?
Trust me. Yes, I'm sure. Very sure.
Fair. Joining us next, guys, the sprinkle of America on the stream. You get me? The American sprinkle. I love him. I really do love him because he's very passionate. He knows ball like 50% of the time. 50%. He's a bit crazy, guys, but it comes with the territory. No one knows football 100%. But the infamous mustache is back. LA Mike is back, ladies and gentlemen, from Los Angeles, California. Joining us is man like Mike Das. How you doing, Mike, man?
I know football 100% of the time. I'm not taking any of these 50% bullshit.
There you are.
But
there you are.
It's
even Pep doesn't know football 100% of the time because he lost to Leon.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because Pep's not me. But big up, smash the like button, subscribe, and we're just gonna jump right into it, baby.
Big up. I said Pep's not me. Hey, fair enough. That is true. He ain't Mike Das. And last but not least, you get me? This guy tried to force allegations on us that we don't invite him. Guys, I invite him all the time. Sometimes he replies 72 hours later. You get me? Sometimes it takes forever. It's never my fault. I actually messaged the guys. I was like, yo, guys, I'm going to be 5 minutes late because I have to help my mom out. This guy was later even than I am. You get me? So that tells you all you need to know. But we love him regardless. The ultimate Klopp hater is back. You get me? So I bet he's enjoying this Arne Slot tactical era. Man like JJ, Jerry is in the building. How you doing, Jerry, man?
Where's the evidence that I was later than you?
Where's the evidence, guys?
I'm here.
We have 3 witnesses right here.
I don't know if the witnesses are going to be witnessing properly. As far as the chat's concerned, I'm here. I'm ready to rumble. Big up to everyone. Sticky Vicky, what's going on? But yeah, big up to everyone in the building. And
Nice.
yeah, I'm sometimes not available. I'm sometimes, inconsistent because I'm actually on the pitch. I'm doing the work. I'm at football. I'm actually on the field coaching.
We appreciate it, JJ. Big up to you, brother. Thank you for joining us.
No
Big up
problem.
everyone in the chat. As my brothers have all said, make sure guys are liking and subscribing. The road to 40.2k continues. You get me? Keep growing, inshallah, with the support of the lovely, incredible community. And there's so much coming your way as well tomorrow. So watch out for that, my people. So we are here. You get me? And we have to start off by just discussing what happened this week. And I'm gonna throw this first one right here to Mike. You get me? And usually when we start off these Liverpool streams, we kind of just talk about the results of the week. So obviously, as you guys know, this week we beat Brighton by 3-2, drew with Arsenal away at the Emirates. And we're gonna play. By the way, we're actually gonna play Brighton again tomorrow as well for the people who don't know that. So Liverpool this week, Mike Das, talk to me.
I'll keep it brief because I know a lot of people will have a lot to say. When it comes to Arsenal, we were shit. There's no other way to go about it. We were not good. We could not bypass the press in the midfield. We started to resort to long diagonals. We weren't playing the ball to feet. At specific moments during the game, we ended up getting the ball to feet to Mo or to Lewis, and then we would have 5 minutes of possession, and we would look like we're starting to build something. And without that creative 10, let's call it, because I respect what Soboslai does in this team, but without that, Martin Odegaard style creative 10, who's an outlet for the wingers, it's going to be tough to break down a really good defense from wide play. Eventually, Arsenal would get the ball back, but then again, they didn't really do anything with it either. Were they the better team than us in the first half? Yes, but we also had the equal amounts of chance created and touches inside the opponent's box and equal amounts of shots. So while we didn't have the ball, we weren't necessarily conceding dangerous chance after dangerous chance. The set piece goal, listen, we need a semi-automated goal system in this country, because from one angle it looks onside and then from the other angle it doesn't, but Kai Havertz is in the way so you can't see Virgil's foot. To me, that's a little bit ridiculous considering that the technology exists, but I'm not complaining. It is what it is. It was probably onside, but who knows? But also it's a set piece goal. And I said it before the show, and I've said it before every show. Our set piece defense this season is not good. We concede dangerous opportunities against set pieces. Whether they go in or not is irrelevant. The fact is that the chance is created, and that's the problem that we've had in terms of defending set pieces. But then again, we scored a great one. The only disappointment, I think, was, when we finally scored to equalize the game, we let off. And Arsenal's defense was essentially one starter. We shouldn't have let off at that moment. But at the same time, given how difficult it was for us to progress play, I don't blame Slot. It's disappointing, but it's not indicative of Arnie. I don't think it's necessarily a mistake. I just think that you had an opportunity to step on the throat of the game. I understand why you didn't do it. There's deeper problems. I don't think Gravenberch played well. I don't think McAllister played well. And ultimately, we didn't compact our shell enough in that first half in order to start progressing through Arsenal's midfield of 3 center defensive mids. But a point away at a team that many people consider to be better than us is a point gained, and ultimately it's the 9th game of the season. So taking a point there, very important. It's the 9th game of the season. We're still 4 points ahead. And then against Brighton, I don't think that there's a lot to say. We scored 3 goals, and one of the goals we conceded was a really stupid mistake by a young player who we need to, not pressure, because he's 21 years old. He's going to make these mistakes. And then the deflection was unfortunate. Like, should he be going to the ground there? I don't know. Was the ball scuffed? Absolutely. But it takes a really unfortunate deflection off of him, and it happens to go into the net. Outside of that, Yaros had to make one really good save.
Unbelievable save, by the way.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Which ended up keeping it 3-2. But if you take out those 2 quantum mistakes, the game is 3-0, and we probably have a much tighter grip on it. And you can make the argument that if you're up 2-0, maybe that Yaros save isn't even necessary, because Brighton aren't into the game enough in order to create an opportunity. But it was a heavily rotated squad. Thank God Andrew Robertson is now our 4th choice left back. Praise the Lord. You keep
saying 4th choice. Who's the 3 ahead of him?
Joe Gomez, Simicas, and anyone else on the team. Literally anybody else. I would put Kwanzaa there. I would put Kanate there. I would put Curtis Jones there. I would literally put anyone else because honestly, the one-on-one.
I mean, I thought I was brutal,
No,
Jerry.
but listen. The one-on-one that Yaros had to make the save of the first real chance of the game. Andrew Robertson is holding the offside line 10 feet offset, which means that he's cheating when the ball isn't even on his side, which plays in the guy through the middle onside, which leads to a one-on-one break. The only thing that he did good in that game was he cleared the ball off the back line towards the end of the second half, and he put one cross into Soboslai that Soboslai hit directly into the keeper. We also have to take into account that we could have scored way more based on the saves that this guy made. But yeah, no real complaints. We're 4 points ahead of Arsenal.
Is that the Brighton game?
Yeah.
He also headed the ball into the area where Kwanzaa deflected it into the net. By the way, he was totally at fault for that.
I mean,
there's a lot. I want to ask Mike this because there's been a lot made on social media of him taking off Kwanzaa. Some agreeing, some disagreeing in terms of his confidence, stuff like that. Where are you with this whole Kwanzaa situation?
Dude, I don't want some brittle, bitchy coach. I want a cutthroat, ruthless manager. Like, if you're not performing on the pitch, I don't care how old you are. You're getting taken off. Do I think it might have been a little bit harsh? Sure, but this is a harsh sport. Like these guys are getting paid tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars a week to kick a ball around a grass field. If you don't perform and you get taken off and you're going to bitch and moan, that's on you. Like, ultimately, this is a sport, and I understand the whole sentiment of it being so of it being harsh, but ultimately, leaving him on could have cost us another goal. You have to take him off there. He's clearly not right in the head, but also he hasn't played enough. Like, he's barely played since his appearance against Ipswich. So if he hasn't gotten the reps in, he might make these mistakes. He's 21 years old, but if anything, hopefully, rather than sulking, he'll use it to galvanize himself and basically say, I need to be better. So it can go either way. You could destroy his confidence, or in fact, you could galvanize him to be like, no, I did not deserve that. I'm going to prove to you why I don't deserve that. And I'm not going to make that same mistake again.
Okay.
Is there anything to
guys,
chop up
you
now?
already know there's no red carpet here. Just
Husam, is there anything to chop up now?
I mean, yeah, the games. Talk to me, because Mike gave his opinions. It's interesting to hear yours.
Look,
listen, for me personally, I'm one of the people.
I've got a bit of a rebuttal on Mike there,
Tell
by
me.
the way,
Talk to me.
because
Hit me.
I actually don't think we played really, really badly against Arsenal. Like, I just don't. Like, Arsenal are a top team. Like, Arsenal finished ahead of us twice in the last 2 seasons for a reason, because they got better players and they played better defensively. Like, we went behind twice in that game and managed to equalize and take it to a draw. And we outplayed Arsenal in large parts in that game and had more possession than Arsenal at their ground. And that's not something any team can do easily. And we did it exactly the same against Brighton. Like, I think that's testament to Slot. Like, yeah, we may well have started badly and we may well have not played some of the right players in that game. But largely, we went behind because Robbo played everyone onside. Like, he played him onside, and it's a mistake that's been made a couple of times by Robbo, but it's not been made by the rest of the defence. And we've had 5 goals that have been scored against us this season that have been given for offside because our defence has been really good at playing offside. So it's something that we're doing, but maybe he's not doing it to the best of his ability right now. And Slot learned that and changed the team around, and we looked so much better in the second half. And, you know, that's at Arsenal's grounds. And they had to make a statement. They had to win that game because now they're 4 points behind us. And we've got them again, but we've got them, I think it's the 3rd to last game of the season at Anfield.
Yeah.
That's huge. To take a point there and for them to have to come to us to get a point off, or to get a point from us, is going to be really hard for them. And the Brighton game, look at the end of the day, look, Brighton are a bit of a bogey team, and we've lost a number of games against them in the last couple of years. And they've always scored goals against us. That's always something that Brighton have been able to do. They've done it at our ground, they've done it at their ground a number of times. And for us to go away and basically just play a throwaway team, because look, if we went out, we went out. Yeah, we went out, we played a weakened team. End of. Like, the fans would get over it. We played a weakened team and still beat Brighton, and we could have beaten them by more than 3 goals. I genuinely believe we could have. And for us to be able to do that and outplay them in large parts and have more possession with our makeshift team and our third choice goalkeeper, I think that's brilliant. And for anyone to now say, "Oh, you haven't played anybody," well, look at the teams we played now, because we played Brighton, we played Arsenal, we played Chelsea. We played Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are high in the league now. So are Brighton. Brighton are 6th. If Brighton win at the weekend, they go 3rd. That's how high Brighton are now. So for people to say we haven't played anyone, we have played people now, and we've done pretty well. And let's see what happens the weekend. But I think another good win.
Here's the thing. The reason why, obviously, Mike is saying people say Arsenal are better than us. I think that as well. And here's the thing with the Emirates game. Those are 2 different games for me. First of all, the second game, it was a weakened side because of obviously Morton, Endo. But the problem is because we lack serious squad depth, that we are playing some starters in there, which isn't really ideal considering how much football we have. I wish we just had a bit more options, obviously, with Elliott coming back and stuff like that. The reason with the thing with the Arsenal's take is the following. The reason I was disappointed at the end of the game was the fact that when we did equalize, I really wanted us to go for the kill, because that was an opportunity right there. You're playing against Kivior, you're playing against Miles Lewis Kelly. So I thought, okay, there's an opportunity there for us to attack. And I feel like after we equalized, we had all the momentum, but we just went back to being tame and just pass left, pass right. We took the point.
That's not fully true, though, Husam, because there was one moment in the 89th minute where Wataru Endo could have played Darwin Núñez, who had at least 8 yards of space on both of his shoulders, and he decided to turn around and slow the game down, which is most likely an instruction. Most likely, Arne Slot told him, "I don't want you doing anything. I want everything going backwards." So you could say that, but the issue again, which kind of rebuttals a little bit of what Kmack said as to why I said we played like shit, was because we couldn't progress the ball through the midfield. We had to go wide and we had to go long.
And it didn't work. Consistently did not work. That's the problem.
Because we couldn't link. The only way our midfield worked was when we were already in the other opponent's half. And essentially we had the ball, and now we're sort of playing it around. We couldn't play through their press, and we couldn't play through them. McAllister and
this is exactly why Zubimendi is needed. Someone who could play through the press.
I would argue when we did score, their midfield was so disjointed afterwards.
Yes.
Like there was no midfield.
Because we dispossessed them.
Because we ended up doing what we did best, which was press Declan Rice, who's known to be not a very good player under pressure. But the main thing, I didn't think we tried. I didn't think we really tried. I think we settled. And I was like, look, if Saliba was there, Gabriel was there, Timber was fully fit, and Ben White playing right back, 100% understand. And again, Emirates, I'm all about Mourinho, Fergie tactics. Take points away from your rivals, but make sure you win at home. I'm all for that. But the fact that those guys were very much weakened, and obviously Saka came off, so they were a little bit toothless up front. I was like, guys, this is a great opportunity to stamp your authority on this league. And I don't think we did enough. And I don't think we really tried, which was a big issue. Because, look, I get it if you're doing it up against a good team, but the fact that you guys didn't try, that's a big concern for me.
That's the irritation for me.
We did. We got back into the game twice, and then we had large spells of.
What about afterwards? Because I don't remember a single chance that we had that we created for our forward line.
Well, that's because we got Darwin Núñez up front. Sorry.
Whoa,
I mean, Darwin Nunez
Darwin,
was the
Darwin,
same guy that-
whoa.
Darwin Nunez was the
I'm not
same
going to
guy
hear
that
the
got the assist
slander.
for Salah.
I'm not
I'm
going to
just
hear
saying.
Darwin.
Yeah, and he wasn't in the box when he played
He
Salah
was
in.
excellent. What do you mean? Darwin was making run after run through the center of the park, and no one
He
played
didn't
him.
have a shot, mate. He didn't have a
No,
shot.
okay. Once again, when you watch the game, Darwin was making the runs, and no one was passing him the ball. You had the one that Endo ignored, and then also 3 minutes before that, Trent Alexander-Arnold has the ball in sort of similar position that Mo had the ball when he played it to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones made the exact same run that he did against Chelsea. Trent thought about passing it and then played it off to Mo. Like the problem is that sometimes I feel that we slow the game down too much in the opposing half. It's almost like we're unwilling to concede possession to take a risk. Sometimes some players will come out and be an X factor and they'll throw something in there and it'll score a goal, but it's not often enough, especially at the late stages of games. Like Trent needs to make that pass. Endo needs to make that pass.
Let me ask you a genuine question. Let me ask you a genuine question. Let me ask you a genuine question. We lost to Arsenal last season at their ground. Yeah. We drew the season before. I think we lost the season before that. I think we drew the season before that. We don't win it. We don't win at their ground. We won at their ground when we played their weekend team in a cup competition that they weren't really in it for. Let's be honest. Okay. What would you rather take? Would you rather take a point? Yeah. Or would you rather take a defeat? Because they could have beaten us.
But I don't think no one is criticizing the result, me included. I'm not talking about the result.
I'm being real.
A draw away at the Emirates is a good result, but we're talking.
What's looking for points?
But Kmack, you're missing the point. I'm not talking about the result. The result is a good result. I've made this clear 100 times. I'm just talking about the performance. Mo Salah scored. It's now 2-2. For the next 10 minutes, make sure that at least Kivior and Miles Lewis-Skelly life is hell. Make sure that Raya is making saves. I'm not saying we should directly, okay, I get it. This is Slot, not Klopp. I understand. But I'm not saying just go all out gung-ho and leave all the spaces in behind and shit. I'm just saying at least take a couple of risks, make attempts. After you've equalized, the Arsenal, let me explain to you. After the
81 minutes, was it 81 minutes?
Yeah, 82nd minute we scored. There was literally another 15 minutes. There was 15 minutes of football played.
That's how I do it.
The only point I'm trying to make, Kmack, is that we had two opportunities that were low risk, because if we had turned it over, it would have been literally directly in front of David Raya. If Trent makes the pass and Curtis Jones makes the run, okay, Raya gets the ball, done. If Endo makes the pass and Darwin has to go to the corner, okay, done. But if he slips it in and Darwin picks it up,
that's the thing.
Same.
If it's an instruction to keep possession, then that's what we're criticizing. I'm saying go for the kill. That's all I'm saying.
I think we have to be wary at where we think Liverpool are and where Slot thinks Liverpool are, right? So in years gone past, we probably would have went for the kill, and there was an instruction from Klopp that seemed to be go forward at every opportunity, press at every opportunity. If you see a forward pass, you play it. Hence why Trent could play a forward ball 9 times out of 10, and even if you misplaced it, it'd be fine. The difference is you have a play when you're trying to instill your philosophy, and this is what I think from when I'm on the training pitch. You have to. I compare it to Ange when he decided to go and play a high line when it went down to 10 and 9 men. Are we going to play the short game or the long game? So, yeah, in the short time, we can probably go and just keep trying to go and play long ball and go very, very direct. And, they might score another goal. They might cause a chance. It might become an end-to-end game, but you kill them off. The difference is, though, Slot is looking to bring calmness into Liverpool's game. And the problem Liverpool have, though, is they struggle to go and do it. They still struggle to, when the pressure's high, they revert to type. Van Dijk goes long. Trent goes long. You see certain players struggle to go and get in the pockets. As you said, McAllister all of a sudden becomes a terrier. Gravenberch just starts to run around because that is still type. When the pressure's high, players still revert to what they've been doing. In that game, it was about, can you go and carry on doing the basics that we're doing as a team and trust the process? Trust the fact that us keeping possession in their half in one moment in time is going to break them down. Liverpool didn't do that well enough. I think there's also we have to be honest with ourselves, and we didn't play well enough with the ball at all. So from a coaching perspective, you look at it and think 8 out of our last 10 passes have been misplaced. Yeah, you know what? Endo, come onto the pitch. Do not go and play a ball forward, because you're right. Trent and Endo could have both played that player through. But considering how bad Trent's passing was, if he plays that and overhits it, Raya catches it and just pumps it long again, right? Then and we get caught on the counter, then it's what have you done? There's game management. If Endo plays in Nunes, but Endo's not the great passer like that anyway, or Nunes is offside and they quickly get the ball and restart and our shape is off, they could score again. And I think it's about this balance. Of course, as fans, we can go and see from hindsight loads of different passes and options on the pitch. I think the long game is, how can Trent be cuter when he picks those long passes out? How can Van Dijk be cuter when he decides to switch it? Because he switched it about 3 times and it didn't reach Salah at all. And it's about instilling that belief within the team that the way we are playing is going to work if you trust it fully. Liverpool at times didn't trust it fully, and as soon as we scored the equaliser, the header, we just kept getting long. We just kept giving.
But how did the equaliser come, Jerry? Because this is the $1 million question.
But that's the point. Is
a QER mistake.
No. A QER mistake, but a fantastic ball as well. Don't get it twisted.
It was a great ball.
That's the balance, isn't it? Because you can't use because we scored that goal to justify going long every single time. Because that's the problem. I think.
I'm with you. The problem in that game was Trent's passing. His passing was dreadful, but the one time he actually made an accurate pass, we fucking scored.
Exactly, and that's the benefit of
You know
Trent.
what?
Like he said, when you've got a player there, I think Slot even came out after the game and said, when you've got a player there, you can see. Look, just before that, he was getting criticised for the pass that he made, but then the pass after that, he goes and plays a player through. But I think it's getting the balance right, and I think what Slot's trying to make sure is that Liverpool aren't a team that just are managing the risk better. Before, Liverpool's risk was really, really high. It was press Trent, just press their fullback, press their keeper if you're there. It doesn't matter. Just don't worry about. Do you know what I mean? Playing the position, play the game. So if you're next to the ball, you go and press it. Liverpool have changed the way they go and play right now. And the problem is Liverpool got done tactically by Arsenal, if just being honest.
First half, yes, 100%.
But not in the second half. Not in the second half, because when I'm listening to what you're saying, and then you look at our second goal, it's essentially the same thing, but for Arsenal. Martinelli drives down the left wing. He's all by himself. He has no one to pass the ball into because there are no Arsenal players in our box. He gets dispossessed. He gives it to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai dinks it to Trent. All of a sudden, there's no midfield. Trent has all of the space in the world. He plays a ball. Kiwior stupidly tries to head it out while putting himself out of position. Darwin Núñez gets let in. You don't have Saliba. You don't have Gabriel. All of a sudden, Darwin Núñez, boom, perfectly weighted past the Mohamed Salah goal within 6 seconds of Martinelli being dispossessed.
My Egyptian king right there. Big up.
We score. So I mean, you know what? When I listen to you talk, like it makes a lot of sense. I just think that, for those chances that we had in the exact time that we had them, where we had them, I just personally wish that we went for it. But like, I understand why not going for it, because ultimately the point is paramount here, and it's the 9th game of the season. It's like it's too early to lose at Arsenal away. It's more important to get the draw.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel even in that situation.
What's crazy as well? Do you know what's crazy as well? Mo Salah's nearly in double figures against Arsenal and Brighton. That's just how many goals that guy scores. I think 9 goals apiece against both these teams.
I think as well, we've got to remember that tactically, Arsenal gave us the ball and wanted us to break them down so they could catch us on the counter. The
100%.
The difference was that Arsenal decided to then drop off, and every time they dropped off, Liverpool were able to get into the game.
The crazy thing is as well, what you're saying as well, Jerry, is there are Arsenal channels that are having the same conversation. Like, we're having a conversation about we should have gone for it more, we should have took more risks.
But Arsenal did try to go for it.
Are having the same conversations now about all of their games they play at the moment. Like,
Arsenal,
why aren't we going for it more?
Arsenal went for it.
Arsenal did go for it against us. He was blindsided.
This manager's been their manager for 5 seasons. Like, our manager has been with us for what, 6 months?
But again, Kmack, look at the squad that they had at the start and look at them now compared to what Slot had to take over. Like, it's chalk and cheese, you know. Like,
I know Kmack doesn't like Arsenal, and that's fine. I don't care like who likes who and who dislikes who. That's personal preference. I'm just saying, bro.
I don't like
At the end, I just wish we gave them hell for like 10 minutes at the end.
We
Could
will
have
at
went
home.
for the kill.
We
I
will
wish
at
I
home.
wish we just fucking attempted a shot, like, bro. Just attempt a shot, do
No.
something.
Well,
get, like,
Soboslai did. He just shot it about 60 yards to the left of the net.
you see that? You see how fucking shit that shot was as well.
He
Oh, my God,
tried.
that shot.
Husam, he tried.
This was the shot right here. This was Soboslai's shot. This how slow it fucking just went past the post.
Husam, quick question then. If Liverpool did go for it, yeah, hypothetically, and Liverpool conceded a chance because on the break we decided to go and obviously the whole team has to step up really high and we got caught out and Havertz goes and scores or Trossard scores or whoever was remaining on the pitch. Do you look at that and think, but you know what, Liverpool, they really went and pressed for the game and they gave them hell for the last 10 minutes, but we went and conceded?
No, I
do you
wouldn't.
think
You
we
know,
needed? Do you think? But do
you know,
think
you know why I wouldn't say that? Because I'm a club guy. I always want to go for the kill. Always. I'm greedy.
And I think
I'm greedy.
That's my
And
point.
I understand. Listen, life is about risk and reward. The only reason why the second goal happened to begin with is because a player took a risk. Actually, 3 players took risks. Trent took a risk with that pass. Nunes took a risk with the run and the pass. And Mo Salah took a risk with the first time finish. Like 3 risks and you get a goal. And my thing is like, here's the thing. Objectively speaking, and I'm not even shitting on Arsenal here. This is just objective reality. Who's more likely to concede if both teams went risky? Kivior and Miles Lewis-Skelly with Ben White playing right centre back and Partey, or Konate, Van Dijk, Trent, and I mean Tsimikas was on the pitch at the time, so at least our left back was good. But I'm just saying if we won and it's 3-2 to Liverpool, that would have been incredible.
Of course, problem is I feel as though Liverpool's passing was so bad. Like, you know, if in the game Liverpool's passing was really incisive, like it was against Chelsea, and you're like, oh, I understand that. I think you have to manage. You sometimes look at the game and be like, yeah, as you said, Mike, McAllister was,
and that's where I'm being fair, and I'm saying the result is good. 100% the result is good.
It makes
I'm
sense
the
for
biggest
us to not
waffler on the
properly-
planet if I say the result is not good. The result is 100% good. And by the way, this has been like the formula ever since all of us have been alive. If you're in a title race, draw away from home and win at home. But was it an opportunity we could have taken? That's all I'm saying. You get me? So,
but we don't need the opportunity is the paramount importance, because ultimately, like we have got an insane stretch of games. We're 4 points ahead of Arsenal. City are still City, which we're now 1 point behind, but it is
City
what
have to
it
go
is.
to Arsenal as well.
Yeah, the City also have to go to Arsenal. Arsenal also have to get through Newcastle. Like, let's just not throw that underneath the wayside here without Odegaard. And also, it at the same time, you know, outside of that, it also exposed the weaknesses of Arsenal to everyone else. The fact that you can give them the ball over and over and over in midfield. You could throw the ball at Declan Rice. They won't do anything. Unless Saka makes a run and someone can ping him on a direct ball and he gets a one-on-one with a fullback or a set piece, they're not that scary. Because Martinelli is one of the worst left wingers I've ever seen in my life. And for some reason, they decided to start going down the left side. Bukayo Saka had 3 touches in the second half before getting taken off the pitch. So the right side was completely gone after the one opportunity that Bukayo Saka, finished. All of a sudden, they looked toothless. You can talk about the whole foul, whatever. Ultimately, it was blown while it was outside the box, and it doesn't count because there were 3 fouls in the build-up. So who cares? Outside
I
of that,
can't believe Robertson allowed him to cut into his left foot in his own fucking penalty box.
See, that's what we should all be. But not even that. First of all, let him shoot it on his weak foot. Second of all, when you make the jump, why is Virgil not reading that situation? Like, Virgil should know Bukayo Saka is going to try to get it on his left foot, even if he
I'm not
does.
blaming Virgil for that, mate. I'm sorry.
I'm not blaming him. But
like,
I think
Virgil probably thought like Robertson got this
as our offside.
Normally. Normally, any competent left back or Rob. That's why I was a bit surprised when Robbo did that.
Now he's incompetent. Yeah, Ram, you've joined the club now.
No,
Join the club.
Make
No,
him
don't
shoot
do
on
that,
his weak
Sam.
foot. That's
I'm
that's
bringing you down to
football
the
101.
bottom row.
That's
You don't
football
deserve to be
101.
on the top row with
Weak
the
foot.
with the Simicast fans right here. See the Simicast.
Oh my
FC
god,
right
he's
here.
ass. Oh my! If that's the guy you're gonna root for, he's ass as well.
Okay, you know what, Ram? My logic with the Simicast thing
What?
is very simple. One second. My logic with the Simicast thing is very simple. I'm gonna give you that Simicast is ass defensively. Guess what? If they're both ass defensively, at least Simicast can cross the ball. So get him in the fucking team. Very simple. It cannot be more simple than that, to be honest with you.
Go with that left.
Cannot be more. And by the way, you know, he wasn't playing, just so you know, there's a Madrid game. He's going to come up against Rodrigo, Vinicius, those types of fucking players.
We're gonna
Yeah,
play a back
exactly.
five. No,
Yeah.
screw that.
I
We're
beg
not.
you,
We're
man.
not even play. We're
Play
not
my
even
left
play
back,
with a
man,
fucking left
please.
back. Curtis Jones is going to play as the second left back, and we're going to have two left backs, and then we're going to have two right backs. We're going to have Gravenberch and Trent as the double right back. We're going to have Curtis Jones and Simicast
So
as
where's
the
our
double
midfield
left
then,
back.
Mike?
We're
Go
We're
on.
not
Can
going
I
to have a
ask you-
midfield.
No,
We're
no,
not going to
before
have a
we get
midfield again.
I don't even want to go. Ram, I want to ask you a
Mike, we're
genuine
going to play
question.
Johnny Hettinger.
I think,
We're literally
He
we're
was-
going to play FIFA. We're going to get the ball and we're going to punt it long and we're going to hope
he was
that
actually
Darwin
good
can
for
do
the
something.
Netherlands in
He
2010
was
World Cup.
actually, yeah. He was.
Right,
Ram.
sick. It was good.
I'll ask you a genuine question. You probably don't
Yes.
know this, but I'll tell you right now. Robertson attempted 2 corners and 3 crosses in that game. How many of them were successful?
0. Don't.
Yes,
know
bingo. Vamos, you got it right.
Wait,
Zero
Husam,
accurate crosses.
I've always
You know,
said this.
Simicast made 1 cross in that game, and he put it between both their center backs, but the guy cleared it. Like 1 cross, and it's danger directly. Ram, genuine question to you, and you're an honest man. Carabao Cup final, okay? Who took the corner for Van Dijk to score?
Fuck you.
I'm just asking. Fuck you is not a player, Ram. Who's
Who
the
had
player?
the FA Cup winning penalty?
Hang on.
Yes.
Was it ass?
Whoa.
No.
Didn't
Answer
Robertson
the
Robertson
question.
cross the ball? For
Ram,
that
you're gonna
offside
answer the
goal for
question.
Van
You're gonna
Dijk?
answer the question. This is a court. You're gonna answer the question. Who took the corner for the Virgil van Dijk goal? Tell the world. Who took it? Simicast. Yes. If Robertson took that
got
corner,
the goal for Van
if
Dijk.
Robertson took the corner, do we go to penalties? Be honest.
Huh?
If Robertson took the corner, do we go to penalties? Don't lie.
I mean,
Probably.
Jalen Daz might have scored.
Does Simicast take the penalty?
You know what I mean?
I'm subbing off Robertson for the penalty. I'm not letting Robertson shoot the penalty. Simicast is shooting the penalty.
Imagine Robertson taking a penalty. Fucking hell. Anyway, let me just do a couple of these super chats before we carry on. Yo, big up to my guy Tron. Sorry, I didn't notice earlier. Big up to you. W's in the chat for my guy Tron. Thank you so much for the super chat. Big up to you. He says, run up the likes. I appreciate you, Tron. Listen, I appreciate the love. Obviously, you know, Liverpool winning games of football makes us all. We're discussing kind of a little bit here semantics, if you would like. We're knocking it down piece by piece. But I've really enjoyed doing this Liverpool streams, actually, because it's just no rivals, no Hamza monologue about my club in 1981. Who did they beat on the way to beating? I don't know. I'm just like, bro, let me live. You know, so it's like it's a lot fun for me to just speak to my Liverpool, fans and just kind of talk about the games, man. I really enjoy this, Tron, to be honest with you. This and the Husam X Tom X Callum show on Tuesdays. The streams that I do on Mondays as well and the pre-records. I just love my club, man. Big up to you, Tron, my guy. Thanks so much for the super chat. Thanks so much for dropping in the 100 piece. Big up, Habibi. Big up. How about you get to editing, you fucking fraud? Guys, Bell is officially, as of this month, the highest paid editor on YouTube. And he can't even... I don't see a message from you, Vel. There's no message from Vel. Vel, where's the video? Still not there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Make up to Nitpa says, does anyone think Gravenberch playing lone 6 most of the times last 3 matches? In United game, Mactan almost holding hands with Gravenberch. Can I give you my conspiracy, guys?
That's not true.
I don't even think we have a DM anymore. I'll be so honest with you.
No.
If you look at his heat map and his average position, he is playing like a centre midfielder. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying all 3 of them. None of them is at DM.
Box 8.
None of them.
Box to box 8.
I was like,
Yeah.
Gravenberch
Three
in the last
box-
couple of
box
games has been
is
playing as a
We
centre
don't-
midfielder.
We don't play with a 6. We play with a double pivot of 2 8s, and then we have Soboslai pressing, and Trent actually plays right back. So we have an actual back 4.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say any of them is like a 6, though.
No, because I don't
They're
think
all
Arne Slot
defending
wants to say
together
that.
and attacking together, theoretically.
Total football.
Yeah, total football mixed with a bit of pep. Big up to my guy Faraz, who says, was propping you, Husam. We didn't perform for large parts against Arsenal. Need to see improving performances and build up and attacking patterns. Big up. I know you're propping me, Faraz, but like as I said, sometimes you have to clarify things because obviously, listen, I do admit it. Sometimes like the downfall of Husam is I am a people's person and I do want people to like obviously like me and like my content and stuff like that. And listen, sometimes it comes with the territory. It comes in a negative light. I have no problem with people disagreeing with my opinions. I've been a villain in many people's eyes for the last 3 years, but it's just I hate it when people just propel lies about me, about my personality, about who I am, about what I do. Like, listen, I don't think if you saw those celebrations against Arsenal or the celebrations against City last year or the celebrations in 7-0 game, anyone could ever call me a fake Liverpool fan or doing it for this or doing it for that. So that's why I that comment just stuck out to me. But shukriya bhai, thank you for the super
Doing it
chat.
to other people though.
Big up to you, Nilatpal. You can hold that for us, fan. And big up to Tron once again. That was in the chat for him. And make sure you guys are listening to him and running up the likes because we're going to talk about Brighton again, but not the Carabao Cup game this time, the game that we have tomorrow. So everyone in the chat, let's get the likes up. We are at 125 likes. Let's try target 150, 200. So please do push the likes and subscribe to the channel, Habibis. And we're going to keep this party continued. I'm going to go to Jerry this one. Tomorrow, Brighton again, but this time, obviously, it's not going to be a rotated side. They're going to come in with all their big guns, if you would like, Baleba, etc., etc., etc. All these players are going to start the game. Where are you with the game tomorrow? How confident are you, Jerry?
Very confident. I think it's going to be the same thing, but Liverpool will just be at Anfield. They'll try and play the same way. If they click, which Brighton can do, then they'll maybe score. But I think Liverpool will overwhelm them. I think Brighton started off really well, but they're leveling out. Like they haven't got the players to keep up, even if they've got a great style of play to keep up that level consistently. And look, they rotated. I mean, even their rotational pieces, I've seen a lot of them start before as well. So they have been starters. They just kind of rotated. I don't see there being a massive difference. And I think Slot is a type of manager that would have learned a lot from that game tactically from Brighton and will make slight adjustments, as will their manager, to be fair, to go and counter what the other manager was doing and what the other team was doing. So I just think it'll be the same thing. I think it'll be a very, very similar game. I think Liverpool are going to win. I don't think it's anything to really worry about. To be fair, when Slot's the manager, I don't really worry about it because he's just got such a calm persona. I don't think there's a reason to be worried about, we might drop points. I'm not really fast. I think Liverpool get the job done and quite comfortably as well, in my opinion.
I'll ask you, I'm going to put you, before I let the guys chime in, I'm going to put Jerry on the hot seat. Give me, and don't do the whole, what I think Slot will do, forget that. Give me your starting 11. What Jerry would do.
What I would do, I would go. Yes. I'd go. We'll see Kelleher in goal because Alisson's not available. I'd go Robbo, Konate, Virgil, Tsimikas, Gravenberch, Jones.
Wait. I think you made us. You said Robbo and Tsimikas.
Konate, Verge. I said Verge and Tsimikas.
Verge, Trent, and Tsimikas or Robertson.
Trent.
You said Robbo.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you actually did say Tsimikas and Robertson.
My opinion. Trent. Konate, Virgil, Tsimikas, Gravenberch, Jones, Szoboszlai. I'd go Salah, Nunes, of course, because Jota's out, and Diaz.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my team as well, by the way.
Okay, just quickly, just before... Who's starting Gakpo tomorrow?
I think Gakpo deserves it.
No, I just think Diaz he's on better form. Like, in the Premier League, Gakpo scored 1 goal, like, in the Premier League. Like, Nunes has got 5, I think. 5 and 2 assists. Like, he's on fire. Like, he's the type of guy you can't take out of the team because he might just drop off a cliff. Like, a bit like Nunes when you don't play him for a bit. I don't know. Like, I mean, Gakpo's
This
been
is
brilliant.
a good headache to have.
It's a brilliant headache.
At the same time, I'm thinking like the...
Listen,
we'll talk a little bit about the Gakpo Diaz thing, but in terms of the game tomorrow, you guys agree as well? Is anyone here worried about the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why you would be so calm. I mean, you have a team that was threatening us. You have a team that, outside of a world-class save, would have equalized and pushed us to penalties, regardless of the mistakes and who made them. The ultimate fact of the matter is that they made them, and that's going to give them confidence going into this game. They're going to look at that last game and basically say, without that world-class save, we're going to pens, which means that we can get at you. And now, regardless of what you think about how the game progressed and the ins and outs, the scoreline was 3-2, and there's no pictures on the scorecard, as we like to say in golf. And I love to use that phrase because it's so true. There are none, right? You gain confidence. Now, coming into this game, you just lost to us at home to get knocked out of a cup. If anything, that's going to galvanize you to want to win this one that much more. You've already proved to yourself that you can score 2 against the best defense in Europe right now. You've already proved to yourself that you can cause trouble. You've already proved to yourself that, regardless of whether or not it was a rotational side, it's not like we were getting peppered for the entire 90 minutes. And ultimately, you've seen other teams come to Anfield this season, i.e. Nottingham Forest, and give us a massive headache. If I were Brighton, I would come to this game.
True, unfortunately.
If I were Brighton, I would come to this game. I would set up shop in a back 5. I would put Matoma on one of the wings. I'd put, Ferguson up there. Whatever you had to do. Put your pacey guys at the halfway line. Play essentially a back 7. Get the ball, heave it. Get the ball, heave it. Get the ball.
Will they do that, Mike?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But also at the same time, I'm not going to walk into a game after knocking out someone who scored 2 against me and say that I'm just going to roll over them, because they're going to have something extra in their system for this game. And at the end of the day, we don't dominate anybody. I don't care what you say. Like we might win 2-0, but there will be a 20-minute spell while we're up 2-0 where we decide to just lose focus a little bit and start conceding chances. Like, this is not a team that just...
Mike, seriously, mate, what games are you watching? Like, we give away...
Yeah, I agree there with Kay as well. Because Brighton ain't going to shut up shop at all. They're going to come in and try to attack us.
Listen. When I say give up chances, I'm not saying that we're giving up one-on-ones. I'm not saying that we're giving up shots on goal. What I'm saying is that we're giving up periods of play where if someone of better quality were there, they could create something dangerous. I respect the Brighton front line more than I respect Ipswich's or Wolves or Nottingham Forest or Crystal Palace. Ultimately, the way I decide to look at the game is that if I see a spell of play where they get the ball into a dangerous position and do nothing with it, I'm going to ask myself, if that were a different player, could they have done something else? Yes? Okay. That can't happen against the next team. Or we need to mitigate that and reduce that.
So the biggest difference for me, and this is why we'll win, by the way, and Brighton are a good team, by the way. They're 6th in the league. If they win this game, they go 3rd. Like, they've got a draw against Arsenal. They've beaten Tottenham. They've beaten good teams. Okay, they're not shit. Okay, and I tipped them to probably be challenging to get into the top 4 this season, because they spent over 200 million in the last window. By the way, let's just be real. Like, they've spent a lot of money and bought some players that I actually thought would have been good for us. But the reason why we'll win is because we're going to change pretty much every player on the pitch. Like, all our team's going to change because we played all our reserves against them. They played 80% of their first team because they had to, because they've got about 8 injuries and they're missing big players. Like, they're missing Lewis Dunk. Like, Lewis Dunk is a big player at the back for them. Like, they're missing a midfielder, a winger. They're missing players across the park. We can just change every single player. Like, and the reason why I picked Diaz is because I do think Diaz plays well with the Anfield crowd. I really do. Like, there's something about him and being at home. And I also picked Jerry's team as well because I actually think McAllister's been quite poor recently. And I actually think Brighton got under McAllister's skin because it's his old team, and he got booed when he came on, and that didn't help him at all, because I think he was expecting like a nice reception or something, which doesn't happen anymore. So I'd play Jones, and Jones with the Anfield crowd in the right position, not in Dom's position, but in the 8 position. I think he'd be good on the left hand side, and I think it's probably going to be like maybe 3-1. I do think they'll score. They score goals. Danny Welbeck's on fire right now. Like, and he's an ex-Manc, so I hate him. But they do score goals, and Matoma is a threat. Like when he came on in that game, he was a massive threat, and he cooked all our players quite a few times. And Adringa is a good player, which we're probably looking at, by the way.
The thing is, even at
be the
Brighton,
next player out of their club.
the thing is, even Brighton, when we're talking about them, look, they are a good team. I don't think they're a team that's going to push for top 4. When you go and look under the surface and look at that Spurs game, Spurs were 2-0 up. They bottled that game. That Spurs that game.
They Spursy it.
I mean, you go and look at the Chelsea game. Chelsea smacked them up. You go and look at. I mean, you go and look at even in the game, against us, we were 3-1 up. It looked like, oh yeah, that's it. The game's done. Or was it 2-0 up? It looked like, yeah, the game's done. And it was mistakes that happen because as the game goes on, Liverpool, obviously the sharpness, the match fitness, that starts to lack, and you can see chances. And I think in football, you're gonna concede chances anyway, irrespective of who's playing. I think the way Liverpool manage those chances, like to your point, Daz, I think it's so good. The chances that you feel, oh my God, they're running that goal. Again, they run that goal, they get to the edge of the box and they don't know what to do with it because there's a structure. So now you've got to go wide. You go wide, put the ball into the box. No one heads it because you've got Virgil and Konate at the back, and then you start again. And I think as long as Liverpool in possession just improve on what they have done, which they have, that's from the Arsenal game, which they have done against Brighton, I expect it to be better. And I think Liverpool is going to manage the game much, much better. I think having Virgil van Dijk in a back line just makes the defense so much better. I think that's his influence. I think as soon as you go and start Salah, it changes the game completely as well, because now their defense have to really be on alert. I think when you've got a player like Diaz that can beat you on the inside, can beat you on the outside, can run into the box and keep the ball, that push it, just like a Mitoma pushes a defensive line back. And as long as we do that and we're at Anfield, it's going to be space for McAllister, for Gravenberch, for Szoboszlai to transition, and I think Liverpool will be fine. I don't know. I'm not fussed with these games. Like I don't see the chances that we really concede. I don't know if we can see chances now, then last season, the season before that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. We will probably, do you know what I mean, in hell in terms of conceding chances. Every game, but we were going forward.
Oh, we were in heaven when it comes to creating chances.
Yeah. But it depends how you want to create them, isn't it? If you're looking to go and suffocate teams, and it's a different way of creating. If you see creation as, we're transition, we're running with the ball, and that's a chance, then yeah, I mean, Klopp's style is always going to go and help with that. But in terms of managing a game, I think Slot's style is probably a bit better when it comes to that.
I have an unpopular opinion regarding this game. I think everything Mike says applies, inshallah, next Friday's show when we're previewing Aston Villa. This one right here, I think this will be our biggest win of the season. I genuinely believe that. I think what's been our biggest win this season? By 3 goals?
Yeah, 3 against Bournemouth.
Who the fuck did we play in the first Carabao Cup game?
United.
No, we beat West Ham 5-1.
Oh, biggest win. Yeah, that was a reserve team again. That was a reserve team.
Yeah, that was. I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna beat Brighton 4-0 tomorrow. I really do. I'm not even exaggerating. I think the way that they play football in Anfield, at Anfield, on that Anfield pitch right there. If you want to attack us, first of all, Jerry brought up the perfect game to establish exactly what I feel like it's gonna happen tomorrow. Chelsea. You know why? Chelsea is exactly what is going to happen for us, because Maresca and Slot aren't the same, but they're like similar, like 60%, 70%. The only two times Chelsea actually conceded was literally Sanchez individual errors. Quite literally, Sanchez giving Baleba the ball. Do I think Kelleher is going to give Baleba the ball? No. Do I think we have a much stronger defense than Chelsea? Yes. I really believe that tomorrow we're going to slap Brighton. And the way that they play football completely plays into our hands. Completely. If you want to attack us, be my guest. Counter-attack. I've got 3 dogs. And this is why I agree with Kmack. This is why I'm probably edging more towards starting Diaz tomorrow. The reason why I start Diaz tomorrow is on those counter-attacks when he has the ball against the right back. I mean, when he came when he played against Lamptey, he fucking ruined his life. To be honest with you. Now I know Lamptey. Who's usually their starting right back? It's not
Veltman.
Lamptey. Someone else.
Development.
Just Lou, whatever the
Veltman, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Joel
he's injured.
Veltman.
Last couple
Veltman.
of
Yeah,
years.
yeah. So for me, I am really confident about this game. To be honest with you, I'm really confident. I think even I think Nunes is gonna score tomorrow, which is
Why
crazy
did
for
that?
me.
That
to
is
say.
confident.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah. I think Nunes will.
I'm tired
score
of this
tomorrow.
slander. The man's been playing great. He's got more tackles than fucking Declan Rice this season.
And if
Man,
I
get outta
played
here.
FPL, I'd probably
Midfielder,
triple
though.
captain.
Captain
If
Salah.
I played FPL, I'd probably
Soboslai, yeah,
triple.
but remember, guys, Soboslai's a 10, and he
Stop
what
it,
does he
stop
do?
it. Let's
2
not- let's
passes a
not
game?
even-
At least
How
it's
many
positive
times-
a goal.
Why are you mentioning Soba's name, bro?
Yeah, this is positive vibes. Let's stay
Because
positive.
everyone moves the goalposts all the time. Everyone talks about Darwin's not getting enough chances, this, that. It's like, look at the way that we're playing. We don't have a 6. We have
I'm
2
fine
8s.
with
But this is literally the game
don't
to
have
get a
a
lot of
10.
chances.
We don't.
I'm fine
We
with us playing,
don't
okay?
we don't have a
We're
10.
winning
we
And
have
this
a
is the
6
game to
playing
get a lot of
10.
chances.
I'm fine.
I'm just saying, everyone's throwing undercuts at Darwin, and Darwin hasn't done anything bad. He has not done anything bad this season.
I
to
will
be
say,
fair,
Husam,
I
what
did
is-
anything good.
To be fair, what he's done this season, like even I'm not his biggest fan, he's just doing as best as he can, isn't it? Like he's not going to be that guy, but we can't. See, I mean, you know what he is now at this point.
No one's
So-
providing service.
Exactly.
Like,
No,
what
but
do you expect?
I mean, but not even. I mean, not even the
Do it on your
service.
own.
It's not like the way Slot wants to play. He's not going to be the best at doing that, but he's trying, isn't it? And that's the best. That's the best I can say.
Yeah,
He's trying,
But
he's working.
Jota also isn't. Like we don't play with the target man. We don't try to get the ball to the striker as much as possible. If anything, the striker's job is to parlay the wingers into the what's it called, directly in front of goal. Like when you watch Jota, he plays 1-2s and he lets the wingers in. Like we do not play with the conventional 9 in this system, just like how we don't play with the conventional 10. We have a 10 that plays like a defensive midfielder in the 10. He's the worst possession player that we have on the team, plays in our most creative part. So I'm just saying that like we can't look at Darwin the same way that we looked at him last season, because he's not getting the same chances and he's not missing the chances that he gets. So because he's not getting
any. To be
but
fair, he
that's not
hasn't
his
gotten
fault.
any
That's
chance
not his
yet.
fault. But that's
Back
not his
to-
fault.
Yeah,
Back
I
to
know,
the
but
competition.
tomorrow I expect him to get chances. And I was about to say, if anyone here plays FPL, and you want to get extra points, guys, triple captain Mo Salah, because I think tomorrow he's gonna have a feast. This guy, listen, people can say anything about Mo that they want, but this guy's playmaking has developed. I swear to God, no one can convince me he passed the ball the same way 6 years ago. I don't care about assists or none of that. The guy's passing has become so much fucking better, like passing in behind, playing in behind. Listen, I can just imagine it. Mo has the ball down the right-hand side as we break away from a Brighton attack, and then Nunes just hits him on the counter. Diaz hits him on the counter. It's on them to be clinical, because I know Mo's going to find them. But I am super confident about the goal tomorrow, about the game tomorrow. Super
I don't know
confident.
if it'll be a
You wanna
big
know?
scoring game, because I think look at the last couple games. And
It's not
the
going to be a
way
big
they-
scoring game. We're going to win by 4.
But
Do you
even
wanna
then,
know-
4
wanna know
looks like
who-
it looks like difficult to predict. Looks like
wanna
difficult
know
to
who-
predict, because we don't score a load of goals, because that's the way we play is rather we kill them with possession. That's how it is. That's what we do. So
Do you want to know
I've come to the
who
conclusion I just wanna do it.
Mo's passing reminds me of now? Harry Kane. Harry Kane's.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's passing.
It's the same development as well.
He's changed his game. Like he knew that he wasn't going to be the main man anymore, and he wasn't going to be able to have like his Manes and his Firminos doing the dirty work, doing the grunt work for him, and getting the ball to him all the time. So he had to change his game up, and he has, and he's absolutely sensational. Like,
Yeah,
and for me, I've said this already this season. I think if we have to, I think you can play Mo as the 9. I just think he'd be brilliant for us in the slot system.
He's good with his back to goal, and he's
Yeah,
good at
yeah.
the final action guy as well. The only issue becomes is who the fuck do we play on the right? That's the biggest
Darwin.
problem.
sell Nunes and get Gyökeres. How about that? That's a better solution.
Gyökeres is going to go to
Diaz.
United and he's going to fail. So let
You could play
Gyökeres go to
Diaz.
United.
You could play
and let him
Diaz
go.
and then Gakpo. And
Would you
Nunes-
By the way,
would you
the
guys
reason why-
consider putting Gakpo in the 10 and playing all 4 of them?
No. We've seen it in midfield. I don't want to do it again.
Szoboszlai has to be in the 10 with the way that we play right now. His pressing is too important to how Arnie wants to play. Like I want a creative 10. I want a Martin Odegaard style of player, but it doesn't fit the ecosystem that Slot has built. So until that fits, which I think would come after a full season, then Arnie Slot would assess. Then we would go out and then we would buy, and then he'd be like, okay, this is the little tweaks that we have to make. Outside of that, it has to be Szoboszlai or Elliott, because Elliott will press as aggressively as Szoboszlai will, but Elliott will also provide you with, the creative outlet, which I think is like the biggest miss of the club right now, is not having Harvey. If we had Harvey, it would be so different.
The reason why
big up Jamie in the chat. Make sure guys subscribe to his channel. He couldn't be with us today because he's taking care of his daughter. Big up to you, Jamie. Big up to you and your family. Take care of your family, brother. Big up to you. Listen, man.
Why I wouldn't start Diaz is because I think it's the same with McAllister as well. Those guys have played a lot of football recently, especially in South America. They haven't had a proper rest, and I'm worried that we've got Leverkusen next week, and then we've got Leverkusen this Wednesday. Then we got Villa as well, and then they're going to go back to South America where they'll definitely play. And then we've got Southampton or City. I can't remember. I think these guys just need a break and don't need to play football. I know McAllister's playing whilst he's hurt at the moment. So that's why
Scaloni loves McAllister as well. He literally plays him every fucking game. He just loves.
And it's the same with Colombia. It's the same with Colombia. Diaz plays a lot for Colombia.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The whole kind of we need to go and rest them. Yeah, I don't know. When you're playing well, you just want to play every single game. You want to play every single game because you're feeling it. When you're out of the team, for you to now come back in, it's like, oh God, I'm having to get my rhythm back. They
can come on in the last 15 minutes, bro.
Yeah, but that's not keeping rhythm. That's this idea. This isn't FIFA where you see the energy dropping low, and then you're like, yeah, I've got to change him because he might get an injury because of the artificial intelligence in the game. It's you play him. For me, you play him until the wheels fall out, and you play him until he doesn't. These guys are fit. They'll go afterwards, recover, and then they'll be like, you know what? You're in the red zone. Cool. We're not going to have a heavy training session for you. But guess what? You're going to play a game. You're going to play the game. The reason why I'd start Diaz is because I think when the team sits back, and I think against Brighton, we're actually going to keep the ball much, much better. He's better at beating players when there's a low block. When there's a low block against Gakpo, he runs into the corner flag, cuts back on his right side, and puts a cross in that no one headers, that no one gets on the end of. That's it. Gakpo's really, really good in transition, was really good when he came in for Liverpool when we were in transition. When the team sit back, I think he's actually better when he's playing up centrally. Because when he has to break down a team, his body mechanisms don't allow him to get inside the pockets, a la an Odegaard, as Mike said, or a la Saka or Salah in those pockets. He doesn't operate well on them. So he starts to do what Rashford does for United, which is he gets on the outside of the block and tries to put crosses in, and we just give away possession. You need to be a bit cuter when you're in those low blocks, and that's why I play Diaz. I think testament to that is when you look at Diaz's goal against Brighton and compare it to Gakpo's last goal against Brighton, or even Gakpo's goals, they're all on the outside. So of course, if he plays and scores a goal, I won't say anything, of course, but it's the types of goals, and I think that's my problem with Gakpo at the moment.
If they don't play a low block, I wouldn't say it wouldn't matter because both players have their own strengths, but both players are still relatively quick, and Gakpo in behind the defense will still cause a lot of problems, similar to what Diaz would.
The thing is,
they cause different types of problems.
We'll play both.
If Gakpo can do more
for 30 minutes, he'll play both.
If Gakpo can do more of what he did for the first Brighton goal, which is cut in and 98 kilometers per hour into the top corner, no one is going to complain.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's what it is. The problem is how often, how effective is Gakpo? Is he a Coutinho when he does that? Is he cutting in every single time? And are we looking at it thinking, you can't let him cut in? Do you know what I mean? It's like Gakpo scores that goal. How often is he going to score that goal again?
They're not going to let him cut in. And especially if he's playing against the same guy, he's like, well, I'm not letting him in. I'm not sending him down the line.
Coutinho was very similar, where he'd cut inside and you knew what he was going to do, but you can't stop it. I'm saying with Gakpo, how often do we see him do that? Not very often. It's a lot of
games we see it quite a bit.
No, but pardon?
In the
He's
cup
very-
games, we see it quite a bit, but then again, quality is a lot different.
Just scored a goal like that before.
And a lot of
Paul.
the times we see him run into the corner flag. He cuts back on his right foot, and then crosses the ball in. And that doesn't create a chance. We just cross it in because he's not like he's a, do you know what I mean, Trent when he's crossing the ball in, or even like a Milner. He's just putting it into an area, which is fine. But I think you need a bit more nuance when you're in those areas, and that's why I think Diaz has started the bigger games in comparison to Gakpo. Obviously, when we came from an international break.
You look at the Diaz goal as well, by the way. He had loads of men around him. Like, you know, that's low block, like loads of players around you. He managed to dribble past a couple of players and put in a brilliant shot, which beat the goalie on the near post. It was a really good goal. Like, and for me, yeah, I want more of that. Like playing at Anfield. He loves the crowd as well. He's a real crowd player as well, like Diaz. And sometimes he's frightening at Anfield. Like he really is. I think, hasn't he got most of his goals this season at Anfield, by the way?
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
I'm just
No,
not sure.
I wouldn't. Most, I think,
No, he's
I
right.
think
Most,
a third of his goals
He's
were
got
away
two.
from home.
He's got 2 at Anfield, Danny. Like 2 in one game, and then got subbed.
Two at Old Trafford.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I hear the point. He is a
He has
crowd player.
that
I think. Yeah, if the crowd are behind him, he does end up showing up a lot more. Starts
Yeah.
taking on his man a lot more, which I was a bit disappointed he didn't do enough against Partey. But it's by the by.
again, I feel like when the game stretch, Gakpo's a great option. The great option is, for me, just like he reminds me of Rashford so much. Like, do you know what I mean? If the game's stretched, Gakpo's going to cause you a lot of problems. He's tall, he's big, he's fast. If he plays on that, like fullbacks will hate playing against that. But I think early on in games when you start Gakpo, I don't think it's. Do you know what I mean? He's always good when he's in transition.
I'd say the same for Diaz as well, though. I feel because he's not like Gakpo, where Gakpo just motors. Diaz is a lot more electric.
Diaz is a better dribbler, but Gakpo is a better shooter.
No, 100%. The problem is, if you're cutting inside, but you've got a low block, you can't shoot, isn't it? That's why he runs.
Yeah, and Diaz is probably a bit quicker as well. The perfect winger would be both of them in one person. That would be the fucking perfect winger.
Let's just put this.
I don't know how true it is on this, but hasn't Diaz scored most of his goals in the first half this season?
I'm not sure, but I would rather
But he scored early goals in games.
I mean, the
think he's
majority of
scoring
our
early
goals were
goals in
the first
games,
half.
so that's good
except
to
for the
have.
one against Brighton. But to me,
Yeah.
the only, I would say that the largest reason why I would start Diaz over Gakpo, number one, Gakpo started midweek, so Diaz has fresher legs. Ultimately, like that's what's most important. Who has the freshest legs? But number two, if this game is tied or things aren't going as well as we want them to, or if Brighton are starting to get into the game and it's 1-0 and all of a sudden the game becomes a little bit more open and Diaz has been playing for 65 minutes, I would rather bring on Cody Gakpo than bring on Luis Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
So, regardless of what the form is, Gakpo would be better in that scenario if it's needed, and Diaz has fresher legs. So just like based on what we've seen with Arnie so far, I think the only reason why anyone is starting consecutive games if we have a midweek one is if we don't have an option to rotate. We cannot rotate the 10, so Szoboszlai has to play every single game. If Harvey Elliott was here, I bet you Harvey Elliott would have started against Brighton. If Harvey Elliott was here, I bet you he would have started against Leipzig. So, it's just, to me, it's just fresh legs and the fact that
I really want to watch
Cody
Harvey, man.
would
I
get you
really
a
want to
goal
watch
off
Harvey
that.
under the system.
So do I. He would cook. He would
I think
cook
Scott
in this
wants to as
system.
well, mate.
He's the perfect player for this. He will pass.
Is he going to be back after the international break?
Well, he's
Maybe in
back on grass
December,
training.
he said.
He's back on grass training now.
No, Ram, it's not December. They said like 2 weeks. Then they say 4 weeks.
Sorry,
like 2
not
weeks.
December. Sorry, mid-November. After the
Take his
That's
international.
literally
time.
after the
Take his
international
time.
break. Wrong.
Take his time. Harvey Elliott
That's
is
literally after the
sometimes-
international break.
He's
Sorry.
sometimes made of eggshells. Like I want him to take his time coming back. I think that he would provide everything that Szoboszlai provides. Plus, he would provide offensive surety. Like he'll go into the box. I trust his shot. I trust his build-up play. But I know that he will run like a horse around the entire pitch for 90 minutes. And then
Except
plus,
industry, yeah.
Szoboszlai comes in. I've been shouting.
Didn't he buy?
Oh my
Wow.
God. Can you guys imagine just Jack playing the guitar, just getting shot on by seagulls? Like, it's just fucking
Hey.
weird. Oh, my, he took it personally. Jack is
I mean,
taking it.
Oh, is he being serious?
Seagulls are
I
rats
thought he
with
was making.
wings,
I
man.
thought he was making a joke. I didn't realize that.
Seagulls are
I
rats.
think he is being serious. Big
Yeah,
up to you,
yeah.
Jack. Hey,
Yeah.
apologies for all the seagulls shitting on you. Hopefully, we do shit on them tomorrow. Hey, big up to you, Jack, man. Big up to you.
Thing of Jack.
Whew.
Didn't Slot actually buy Chiesa so he could play Harvey Elliott inside more, like as an attacking midfielder?
No, I don't. Yeah. Yes. Attacking
Yeah,
midfielder, yes.
plan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. With you.
Yeah,
I don't
What do you
think
is
we're
the
gonna
same?
see Harvey on the wing in this slot
No.
system at all.
Yeah.
Unless Chiesa never comes back, then
He'll come
then
back.
we might have to start seeing him out of necessity. But
I think isn't Chiesa training with you now, Jerry? Haven't you got him? Haven't you got him training in your team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was injured as well. He sat out.
Allow Chiesa, please, man.
cookies and crisps on the sideline with a little
Let him
bag.
in.
Oh my days, bro! I
Once
swear,
spaghetti
you guys.
bucket comes back.
This stream is elite, honestly. Big up to my guy Tip. Thank you so much for the super chat, watching us all the way from Japan, ladies and gentlemen. Mama, I made it. There's Japanese
Just the
people
tip.
watching. Big up
His
to
name
you
is
guys,
Justin.
man. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. As my guy Tip is telling you, we're closing in on 200 likes. Let's get there. And I'm gonna ask you guys this. I'll make this the final segment here. Before I just ask you power rankings, then we wrap up. Everyone hit the like button and subscribe. Subscribe to Mike Das's channel, Kmack's channel, the Ram stand. One day he's gonna upload a video, and Jerry's channel as well as in the description. Tariq's question here is gonna be the question to all of you. I'm gonna put Ram on the spot. The reason why I don't start any sections with Kmack is just edgy. He will tell you his opinion. He don't give a fuck. So sometimes you have to put people on the hot seat for them to feel the pressure. So I'm gonna put the pressure on Ram here, because Ram always wants to do this whole nice guy stuff. Oh, I'm sat back. I love everyone equally, and I'm a Robertson guy. It's time for you to be on the hot seat, buddy. Big up, everyone. The ball is now in FSG's court, because if they decide to spend in January, we are winning this league. Ram, can Liverpool win this league title? Because I'm going to give you a scenario.
Yes.
And this is not that highly unrealistic. Let's say tomorrow City, playing with their B side, loses to Bournemouth away from home. Tough opposition. Arsenal, very bad record at St. James's Park. They get a draw, 12:30 kickoff. And then we slap Brighton, as Husam predicted, by 4-0. What do Liverpool need to do to win the league this season? Brother Ram, you're on the hot spot. Go ahead.
Get a hybrid centre back, left back, get a 6, and we will win this league comfortably.
Not a 6, just a defensive.
Ram,
capable
but
eight.
wait. I gave you the biggest layup, and you just give me a 3-second segment. Can you talk?
Answer the question.
Can you elaborate? What the fuck? You give me
Some
short
names into
answers
it.
like this is a quiz for school.
Oh,
What
you
does
want
he
names?
have to
It's as
elaborate?
simple as
This
that.
is YouTube, baby. Talk a little bit. Elaborate.
Look,
Explain
look,
yourself.
I
Give
said this- I
examples.
said this-
Fuck me.
I said this at the start of the season. I think our team is good enough to win this league. Whether to walk it is a different conversation. I think if we do want to guarantee that we will win this league, I think a hybrid centre back, left back comes in, and a DM. If we get one of them, then I think I'll be confident to say, yeah, we're winning this league. If we get both, we are walking this league. That's how I see it. If you want names, look, I know he broke our hearts in the summer. I know he broke Husam's heart as well. If we get Zubamendi, then look, the mind changes. I think we're gonna comfortably do well this season. If we get a centre back and left back, then I think there's no excuses for our team not to win. Like maybe a cup competition, either League Cup, FA Cup, and a league title double. I don't think I'm being too unrealistic. Our team is good. Our team showed it last season that they are capable of challenging. And people are saying that we're playing better football now, a lot more controlled football. Why can't we go out and win this league? I don't see why not. And if we're going to strengthen our team, then we should win this league. Expectations. If new information gives different expectations.
I don't know if a DM. I fully agree on the left-handed defense. Some sort of guy who can do a timber, right? Like he can play center back, he can play
Scotterbeck
left
or
back.
Lukeba,
Yeah.
that's my picks.
100%.
No, you cannot interest me in Ben Chilwell. You can keep him at Chelsea. Go ahead.
Where I'm going to
Off
disagree.
to Man United. He's off to Man United. Sorry.
The situation I'm going to disagree with you is I don't think the defensive-minded midfielder is paramount, because if we absolutely had to, Szoboszlai could do his job right now and just play as an 8. Essentially, he would do everything that a defensive 8 would do. He would run all over the pitch, he would press, and if anything, you would just tell him, don't press as high. I think what's more important is someone who can play in the progressive midfielder position, but actually dominate possession. Someone who can control the game from the 10. If that's Zubamendi, and Zubamendi has all of that in his bag of tricks, fantastic. But I would rather see us go out there and get someone of the profile like Odegaard, someone with the profile like Wirtz, someone who's up there. Yeah, exactly.
The problem is, though, Mike, that you need, for me anyway, I think you need the Jabi Alonso, Cruz, Pirlo type of midfielder to be able to go and do that. And I feel McAllister.
I don't hate Jones.
No, I don't know. Oh, no, I thought it was me. No, for me, that's the problem. It's not necessarily our ability to have someone like creative like that, because I think when Elliott comes back, I think when you've got Salah doing what he's doing and Diaz doing what he's doing, that could be fine, especially if you've got right backs and fullbacks playing the way they do.
McAllister could also probably do it too. Like if we got Zubamendi and McAllister played in the 10.
Problem is, for me, McAllister doesn't control games in the way I'd want him to from deep positions. And that's been my problem with McAllister. I think since we've got him, maybe I misprofiled him, which is fair, but I looked at him in the mold of that type of player and thought, oh, could you be that player? And I kind of came to the realization that, hey, maybe it was actually Pascal Gross that was doing that. And McAllister was just, the energy in there was a bit more of a terrier, played a bit further up at times for Brighton. But I would want him with his profile to be able to go and give me the ball, and I'm going to control the pace of this game. A la what Thiago did when he played in certain games for Klopp. I just don't feel McAllister's doing that. Hence why the Zubamendi thing, I don't even want the guy, but I would still entertain it, because I feel like that's what Liverpool are missing, as opposed to this creative number 10. Because I think if we do that, great. But then we lose something in terms of build-up, and we lose something in terms of the pressing, because I don't think...
It's so hard to find players like that, Jerry.
Yeah.
It's so like Zubamendi's there, but after Zubamendi, who else is there? I can't think of anyone of that quality as well.
Yeah,
Kroos is retired. Zubamendi is. We don't know if he's if he's happy to join. I can't think of anyone else. I really can't. Look at you.
In terms of players, I don't know who's there. I'm just saying, when I look at McAllister, the ability I think he's got, I think he could dominate games in terms of, all right, we're playing this side. All right, we're going to slow it down. All right, now I'm injecting the pass forwards. And now I'm punching. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't do that. And when he doesn't do that, and you're asking Szoboszlai to do it after running,
it ain't gonna work.
But exactly. And imagine after, I mean, even yourself, imagine running 10K, 11K, 12K a game. Your legs are heavy, those passes aren't passing as much. McAllister could do the role where he's on the outside, give me the ball, bang, I'm spraying it left. Give me the ball, I'm playing it again. He doesn't do it enough. And I think it causes a lot of problems. Hence why I think Jones has got a chance of playing.
Yeah, me too. Can I flip the other way as well? I know you said like who could we sign to win the league? My worry is if we sell players, and my worry is we might sell Keller.
Oh, fucking hell. This squad has no chance of selling
and also Gomez. Like Gomez could easily put in a transfer request, and so could Queven Keller, and we couldn't stop them this time. We genuinely couldn't stop them from going this time, because we haven't given them first team football. Like, obviously Keller's playing now because Ali's injured, but you got to look at it from his point of view. And I think this window we have to be really careful, because we could end up selling 3 players, and maybe even 4 if Trent does decide, you know what, I'm not going to sign a new contract, and the club might have to pull the plug and actually sell him. So my worry is we sell too many, and Endo's also been floating around as well. Slot doesn't rate him clearly. So my worry is we don't have enough players because we've sold too many, and maybe we only get one or two in. But for me, we 100% need a left back, like who can play centre back.
Question for the panel, right? Do we see a situation where when Alisson comes back, Kelleher keeps his spot?
I had this
Because
conversation with you,
Alisson-
mate. I had this conversation with you a while ago.
because the way I see it, right, and I'm just putting it out there, Alisson obviously is top keeper, of course, but he had a lot of credit with Klopp, as in Klopp. Alisson is Klopp's like go-to. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he's my dad, you're my son. I mean, we get on off the pitch. There's a really, really good dynamic there. Would Slot look at that and think, you know what, Kelleher is playing well. You're gonna have to. I mean, you're injured. You're gonna have to hold the bench until.
I think reputation comes into play, though, Jay. I think if you look at Arne Slot and he's like, he knows of Alisson because of him being the best goalkeeper in the world, and even if Kelleher puts in great performances, I think you saw at the start of the season how good he was. Even when we weren't getting peppered with shots, he was still saving the shots where he needed to be called upon. The only goal that he conceded was a world-class strike from Callum Hudson-Odoi that went off the post. If you look at anything else, he hasn't even put a foot wrong. Even I think his ball to feet has been relatively good. I haven't seen him look as shaky as he looked previously. The thing is, I wouldn't be concerned if we sold Kelleher. I really wouldn't. And people may call me crazy, but I said this.
Crazy.
I said this in the summer with JJ. I said this, I want to see what Yaros is all about because I heard very, very good things about him in Austria.
100%. I think the reason why I'm saying that is because you've got Mamardashvili, right? That's in the background. That's in the pipeline, looking to go and come in. Now, knowing how Liverpool are, right? Do Liverpool go into a situation when they've got Mamardashvili and Alisson competing for a number one spot after, buying a goalkeeper for 40 million almost? Something in me is telling me either this is Alisson's last season, right? Or they're going to slowly try to transition away from him because of his injuries or whatever. Yeah. Or if that's the case, and I don't want that to be the case, but if that's the case, does Slot look at him and think, you know what? You're injured now, right? So you're not really available for me, right? With your hamstring again. Kelleher's playing well. If Liverpool go on like a run where they have like consistent clean sheets, do you guys still look at that and think, yeah, Alisson just goes in? Because in any other position, we look at it and we're like, well, he's playing so well. Yeah, he's got.
I actually don't think Slot thinks like that, mate. I actually think Slot will play Kelleher. I really do. Like when I seen the whole Mamardashvili thing and also the links to Saudi Arabia for Alisson, I was like, ooh, is this the move? Is this us moving away from this guy? And the weird thing is as well, Cam, is if you have a look at Alisson and Kelleher's got a better win record at the moment in the last 2 years. Like when he's played against Ali, which is mad. That's how good.
You have to use context with that. Who are the teams that he's playing against?
No, well, he's had to play a lot of games. Like because Alisson's been injured for a long time.
I'm going to give an NBA analogy here.
Yeah.
You know, there was a NBA draft about how long ago? 40 years ago now. The Portland Trailblazers needed a center. There's a guy who was advising the Trailblazers, and he was saying, you have to get this Michael Jordan kid. You have to get this Michael Jordan kid. And they're like, no, we need a center. The guy told them, play Michael Jordan at center. And they ended up drafting Sam Bowie ahead of Michael Jordan. And the rest is history. Chicago Bulls went on to win 6 NBA titles. You get me? 6 MVPs, finals MVPs, everything. The GOAT of the sport was in that draft class. The reason why I'm making that analogy is I don't give a fuck if Kevin Kelleher is playing at the best keeper in the league level. Alisson is the best goalkeeper in the world. And for me, Alisson's consistency over the last 7 years and everything that he provides to this team and any team that he plays for cannot be replaced because when you are as experienced as Alisson Becker, and this is the massive deal here, he has played in Champions League finals, domestic cup finals, Premier League winning runs, and has saved our asses multiple times. Even if Kelleher is playing out of his skin, I will never go like, yo, Alisson, hold bench. Kelleher, you're starting. It doesn't matter his actual form for me. And that same thing applies for me to Virgil and to Mo, specifically those three. I don't care if Diaz is playing down that right-hand side, scoring 15 goals in 5 games. Play Mo as soon as he's fit. I don't care if Kwanzaa's playing like Maldini. Play Van Dijk as soon as he's fit. Because in the long run, meaning come May time, come April time, come March time, I fucking need Alisson Becker. I need Alisson Becker in that quarterfinal of a Champions League against Atletico at home and they're fucking shithousing. I need someone in there to stop a Griezmann one-on-one. I need someone in there to stop a Bayer Leverkusen one-on-one, blah, blah, blah. These are the things that you build up step by step. Mo Salah's confidence being high matters for me winning trophies a lot more than Kelleher. So I'm saying for me, Alisson Becker is Courtois level. Alisson and Courtois both are the best keepers in the world. And I think they're on a tier list of their own. Would I bench him even for a player from the B list performing at an A-star list category? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's my honest.
It's also
But you do
different.
understand.
One
But you do
second.
understand what me and Jerry are saying.
No,
Like,
it's not even that. I just want to
Ali's
say,
injured. We haven't got a Keller. Like, what if we haven't got a Keller? Like,
You have Jack.
and you
By the
can't
way-
have
by
a
the
second
way-
choice goalkeeper
by the way,
that
we
is
do
as
have-
good as him.
no, by the way, that's fine. What I'm trying to say is you only become an A-list player if you're given the chance to become an
If
A-list
you can
player.
play.
We don't know how Kelleher would be over a 38 game season because he's never had the opportunity. When he has had the opportunity, he's played well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second point, why don't we use the same way we're talking about Virgil and Alisson and Salah? Why don't we talk like that about Robertson?
Oh, hell no.
No reason why I say that.
Performances. Very quick answer.
When you look back on it, Robertson, same thing. When experienced, title-winning runs, last-minute tackles when we've needed it, played at the highest level for Liverpool, played when we've had injuries, played when he's been there. He's been ever present, right? And he's dropped off recently. But the talk straight away is, yeah, we need to go and play Tsimikas in. Why is he not afforded the same luxury as Virgil, Salah, and Alisson?
Can I give you the honest answer?
In terms of consistency,
I'll give you a very short answer without shitting on Robertson too much. Even a Robertson fan would tell you Robertson hasn't played at a world-class level for at least 3 seasons now. No exaggeration. No exaggeration. No BS. He has not been world-class or the best left-back in the world for at least 3 years. If you told me the same thing in 18-19 or 19-20, I'd shake your hand. 100%. I don't care how well Tsimikas play, get Robertson in there. By the way, that's what Klopp did. Tsimikas had an unbelievable game against Crystal Palace.
yes.
And then he started Robertson direct against Chelsea because he was considered world-class then. Right now, Robertson's not world-class. Right now, I'm taking 5 left-backs in the same league over Robertson. 6, 7. Imagine me saying that 3 years ago. Would you take 5 wingers ahead of Mo in the league? No. Would you take 5 centre-backs ahead of Virgil? No. Would you take 5 keepers ahead of Alisson? No. Hell, I don't even think you'd take anyone ahead of those 3, probably in the whole league. Never mind, like, not even one, to be honest with you. I'm taking Robinson from Fulham ahead of Robertson. I'm taking, and this is just my opinion, so don't cut me off if you disagree. I'm taking Ait Nouri ahead of him. I'm taking Cucurella ahead of him. I could go down the list of left backs who I think are way more effective, either defensively or going forward. My issue with Robertson is the following. If you're solid defensively, but you can't make a cross, I'd be like, okay, at least he's locking up his winger.
Yeah.
But if you're consistently getting drove through and you can't cross a football, why the fuck are you playing that? Like, that's just my logic. Robertson now, in order to save his career, has to go to like a mid-table side where they play low block all the time, and all he has to do is blocks and interceptions, and he'll shine. But right here, right now, I am taking so many fucking left backs ahead of him, to be honest with you. So that's what I say regarding Robertson, and that's why the energy is different.
I hear it.
Also, I think,
And by the way, I apply that same logic to Trent as well as Bradley's playing. Always play Trent. Game winner.
it's different when you're a goalkeeper as well.
Well,
I think it's
for
different
me,
when you're a
though,
goalkeeper because
for me though, and for me though, and I'm always gonna be honest about what I say about this, but like, if Ali wasn't getting injured so much, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We just wouldn't be having this conversation, and I wouldn't have.
I get it, but if he's back, I'm not saying
doubt
Kelleher ahead of him in any scenario.
I know. I wouldn't have the doubt of when he's going to clear the ball, he pulls his hamstring and he's out for half a season, and then we haven't got a backup goalkeeper, or we've got a backup goalkeeper that's never played. Like, we have a backup goalkeeper now.
Okay, I'll ask you a genuine question. If Jaros plays tomorrow, are you not confident?
I'm fine with Jaros, but I'd like Keller. But I'd like Keller to be my first choice now.
I would make Kelleher first choice as long as Alisson
he's 25 and he's been absolutely sensational. Like, he really has been top draw as a goalkeeper. He really has. Like,
it's easier for me.
And I'm talking about Ireland. I'm talking about cup games. Like, he's never let us down. Seriously. Like
you do.
And this guy's going to walk out the club and we'll maybe get 20 million for him. And you don't know what he could have been. Like, he could have been the next Alisson. Like, and Ali might only have 1 year left with us. And
but you're taking a risk based on very low probability. How many keepers in Premier League history are Alisson level? Name them.
5.
I get that. I'm not saying Ali's not a good goalkeeper.
No. I'm not saying you are. I'm debunking your logic. I'm saying Alisson's level is Petr Cech, Schmeichel, probably Van der Sar, you could say. At some point in time, he was at that level. And that's it.
Yeah, right? But he wasn't at that level when we first signed him.
No, I know. Probably 3-4 goalkeepers in Premier League history have ever hit the heights of being like best keeper in the world. You could probably say to be fair,
Keller is winning cups and winning us games with his saves alone. And he's
Minamino won us a cup. Why didn't we keep him?
50 games.
Minamino won us a cup. Why didn't we keep him?
Sam, because I agree again with Alisson. I'll just put it out there as a discussion.
Yeah, me too. Like, I'm not disagreeing with Alisson. He's world class, best.
But I'm saying with Kelleher though, if you were to extrapolate what he's done over his sample size over a 38 game season, that looks very much like a top level keeper. Now, of course, again, we don't know how that would look over a 38 game season. But what I'm saying is an interesting situation because what does he have to do to get to that next level? Apart from, like, unless he leaves Liverpool, it looks like he's never going to get the chance to go and show that I'm one of the best.
And unfortunately, that's the reality. When you have one of the best keepers in the world, so if I ask, 4 years ago, if we were doing this exact same stream, and I told you, what if, I don't know who the fuck was like a young centre back at the time, whoever. Well, what if Billy Cometio plays 38? No, I'm being serious.
Really?
What if he plays 38?
No, but you're misrepresenting what I'm saying. I'm saying that we've got a sample size of what Kelleher has done playing for the shirt, right? And Kelleher hasn't had. He hasn't. I mean, he's been one of the most consistent players we've had. When he's coming to rotate, he's been fine.
I agree with you, but he's not Alisson level though.
But he has been. Been genuinely.
I don't think Kelleher has been when Kelleher has been in the team. We've missed Alisson personally. No. I've never sat there when Kelleher has been in the team and thought, "Oh my God, we've got Kelleher in goal. We've got a number 2 in there."
And you know what? The defense haven't.
And that's a testament to how good he is. No, that does not make him Alisson level though.
Husam. I think the big difference here for me, and the reason why I can't come to a conclusive opinion on this, is because when Kelleher plays, I think that we play differently than when we play with Alisson. When Kelleher plays, he's not making as many one-on-one saves as Alisson has to make because we're not playing as expansive as when we are when Alisson is in, right? When Kelleher plays, he's doing his job, but he's not. I wouldn't sit here and say that it's like above and beyond. He's doing a fantastic job and he's getting the job done, right? Whereas Alisson, I can look at him and say he is legitimately the only reason in the universe that we had a chance to win that game because of the one-on-one saves that Alisson had to make, because of the fact that he pinged the ball 80 yards to Mohamed Salah, who then turns Joao Cancelo. Like, I think Kelleher is the best backup on the planet. I don't think any other team in the world has a better 1-2 in terms of goalkeepers.
1, 2, and 3.
Exactly. But the thing for me is that our defense looks better when Kelleher's playing because they're playing with a different mindset because it's not Alisson behind him. Is that in a way also helping the team? 100%, because we're more defensively sound and it's offering a different look. But ultimately, we can't look at them the same because we don't play the same way. Like when Alisson is in there, Virgil van Dijk can be 20 yards out of position to try to make a progressive pass. Trent
Because
Alexander-Arnold
Alisson saved one-on-ones.
exactly can go forward. We bank it more than we do with Kelleher. So like, but again, there's pros and cons here because it's like, well, when Kelleher plays, we give up less chances anyway, and he saves the ones that we do. But also, maybe we don't get that one moment in the game where something comes from deep and we score a goal, like we saw against City 2 years ago at Anfield. I don't think that happens if Kelleher's there. It doesn't. It's a fact. And the amount of times that something has started from Alisson that leads to a goal wouldn't happen with any other goalkeeper that we have. So I love Kelleher.
Or any in the league for that fact.
But the thing is that ultimately Mamardashvili is someone who has proven at a first team level to be able to be unbelievable in the way that we want a keeper to be unbelievable. He can save one-on-ones. He can make ridiculous plays in between the goalposts, more than Kelleher can. Kelleher is a fundamentally sound goalkeeper. Mamardashvili is a fucking freak of nature in between the goalposts. He will save anything however he possibly can, which is why I think Liverpool is looking at a goalkeeper like that. And ultimately, based on what Alisson's comments are, I think that the fact that Alisson gave the green light to go after Mamardashvili is a way of saying, listen, I want to see out this contract here, but at the same time, like I think it would be a good idea to get someone else and bring him in and see what he can do. Because while Kelleher's great, I don't think maybe it matches the play style that you guys are going to want to do, whatever. And all of a sudden, Mamardashvili comes in, and just like the NFL, like I know that this is a different sport, but there's a huge problem in the NFL right now of rookie quarterbacks coming in and immediately starting. They they don't spend that 1 year and develop. The most important thing to me right now at this club is that Mamardashvili comes in the summer, Alisson is there, and Mamardashvili is in the Kelleher position where he plays the Carabao Cup, he plays in the FA Cup, he plays, the odd hand Champions League game, the odd hand Premier League game. He gets that full year underneath Alisson. At that point,
But Mike, let's talk probabilities here. The reason why I mentioned Czech, Schmeichel, and Van der Sar, and maybe even De Gea 10 years ago, is what are the chances of Kelleher becoming that level? Give me a genuine chance.
Well, we don't know.
I don't think. But the thing is, I don't think that Kelleher is the same prototype as Alisson. I think that they're two different kinds of goalkeepers.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
thrive in two different styles of play. I don't think that Kelleher has the levels of Alisson. I don't.
De Gea is not the same prototype as Alisson. Forget prototype. I'm saying the possibility of Kelleher becoming the best keeper in the world.
I don't.
How much would you give it out of 100? Like what? Like
I think there's
a very generous 5% probably.
No, I mean, listen. I think maybe there's like a 15-20% chance where if he played every single game for the next 5 years with a great team, that he could be one of the best goalkeepers in the world. But just based on the fact that if you're the best goalkeeper in the world, in my mind, you have to be able to make saves that no one else can make. You have to be able to stop one-on-ones that no one else can do. Thibaut Courtois by himself won a Champions League final. Kelleher,
he was the reason why we didn't beat Madrid.
100%. Kelleher by himself in that Chelsea Carabao Cup final. Did he make the saves that he had to make? Yes. But were the shots as good as they could have been? No. Courtois literally made 3 of the most ridiculous saves I've ever seen in a final of all time. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane were completely robbed in that game. Kelleher can't do that. Alisson could. Alisson could do.
I disagree.
On that, just to get an idea, how do we know Kelleher can't?
Fulham game at home. Fulham at home.
Finals.
Okay.
Finals with him in the team.
Example. Chelsea at home this season. Kelleher lets in that at the near post. I don't know. Like I will sit here and say that with Alisson there, I think we have a chance of saving that. With Kelleher, but
yes, that is true. None of you can deny it. Alisson can save
hold on.
XG against for that goal.
This isn't a knock, though. This isn't 5. This is not a knock. 100%. But an XG being less than 5 only goes further to the point of Well, he should have been in a better position. He should have made the save. I don't believe no goalkeeper should ever get beaten at their near post. It shouldn't happen.
I'm glad you mentioned positioning, because those are the kind of attributes that a world-class keeper has. Like people say he made that save look easy. No, it's because his positioning's elite.
Which is why Terstegen is terrible, because he gives up near post shots because his positioning sucks.
And just on this Kelleher thing, the reason why I've said this, I said this to JJ months and months back. I have full faith Yaros could do the exact same thing that Kelleher is doing. I think from what I've heard about him in Austria, I was like, let's see what this guy's all about. Because if Kelleher is desperate to leave, let's sell him off and see what Yaros is about. We saw glimpses of it at Crystal Palace. We saw him play a full game against Brighton. His distributions, funnily, I was quite surprised. It was relatively very good. And all the things that people are saying about Kelleher, he needs to play more games. He hasn't shown it. He wants to play for Ireland, but he's not getting that opportunity. That's the same for Yaros. Yaros wants to play for his country. He's younger. He's hungry as well. He wants to make a name. Slot gave him the confidence that we might need you. I don't want you to leave, because he was going to go back to Austria this season in the summer. And I don't see why everyone be a bit worried about it, because we've got a very, very good third goalkeeper.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Kelleher leaving. I'm just thinking.
You also got Mamardashvili coming in. The most exciting prospect in world goalkeeping is coming into this team.
The one thing I'd say on the Mamardashvili thing though is I don't agree with the fact that coming in as a player and just being on the bench and watching a player has benefit as big as a benefit as going out and playing games. I think if Mamardashvili is going to if he's going to come in to be a number 2, I don't think that's the best move for him. I'd rather
just one season though. One season.
No, but even the one season,
maybe.
When I look at Courtois' development, right?
Courtois and Czech, I was going to say the same thing.
They all played games, and it got to a point. Even again, it's like with Kelleher, because he hasn't played games. We don't know the level that he could be. Mamardashvili, you've got a sample size where he's playing consistent games. If he can go and play games and then come into a team on the back of playing a full season, that's got a bit larger benefit to him and to Liverpool as a club than him being a number 2.
Yeah, I'm with you. If we want to loan out Kelleher,
and then having the pressure of, oh yeah, now I've got to come in because Alisson's injured, and now that's a completely different dynamic to be in. And I think if you're gonna have Mamardashvili there, if he's gonna come in, it's got to be him coming in as number 1. And I think that's where I'm confused as to why. Is he going to go out on loan again, or is he?
If we want to send Kelleher out on loan, like an Atletico Madrid, and he be like their first keeper for a whole season, and we see how he performs under pressure as the number 1 keeper, I hear it, and I have no problem with that experiment. All I'm saying is, Alisson is probably the best keeper in the world since Neuer.
Yeah.
Alongside Courtois. So the rarity of that happening is very low, is all I'm saying. Now, Courtois and Czech, that's a fair example. That's a fair rebuttal, 100%. We could eventually regret selling Kelleher. I'm not denying that whatsoever. Or like moving on or whatever it is. I'm just saying the current level Alisson is at. And by the way, there's another thing as well people don't mention about keepers, presence. Alisson's presence in the net, just by him being there, it makes forwards shit themselves sometimes. Like just by him existing. I'll give you a prime example as well. Man United away, FA Cup. Kelleher was in net for like those finishes. I'm not blaming him. Obviously, Elliott lost the ball and shit. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, by Alisson just existing in net, that could have made Amad Diallo shit himself. Just by him existing in the net, he could have missed the chance.
Say that about Buffon.
But also, let's just like, I mean, at the end of the day, Alisson, he has a what's it called? He has a hamstring problem. But I mean, how old's the guy? What, 31 years old? 32 years old?
32.
You fix up the hamstring problem. You know, Alisson could be at the top of the world for the next 3 years. Like, goalkeeper is probably the one position that
Brazilians after hit 32. I don't know about
maybe. But the thing is that history is only history until it's not, right? Like, patterns are only patterns until they're broken. You know, the Cubs didn't win a World Series for 118 years. All of a sudden, they win one. Everyone forgets that, right? So, you know, he's 32 years old. If you fix up the hamstring, if it stops happening this consistently, like, What would happen if we let Alisson go because of a hamstring injury, and now all of a sudden we got to pick between Kelleher and Mamardashvili, and it turns out that neither of them are really up to the same standard of what we already have that was proven to work and exist. So like we're in a very sticky situation here, and ultimately, if Kelleher isn't patient enough, fine. Like you're 25 years old, you don't want to wait 2 years, whatever, dude. But like,
and I promise you, next summer something will happen. I think we're gonna loan out Mamardashvili again, but probably to a bigger club that is in the Champions League to give him a chance to be the first keeper. But anyway, listen, I don't want to debate
loan him to a Premier League team, Mamardashvili. I think.
Possibly Bournemouth. What do you think of this Pablo Barrios rumor? I haven't heard anything about it. Do any of you?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know who that is.
Atletico Madrid, isn't he?
What, the kid?
Yeah, I think he's like 20, isn't he? Something like that.
Who the fuck is Pablo Barrios?
I'll tell you what. The too many rumors aren't going away. By the way.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to come here. He doesn't want to come here. So he said it.
The reason why people want him out of Madrid is the reason why we don't get him, because he can't do what we need. Unfortunately,
well, no,
too many in midfield, mate. We win the league.
The issue with Madrid is that Madrid haven't
sometimes I wish I could slap the fuck out to you, honestly.
Tchouameni is
Did
just
you
not
just
Toni
fucking
Kroos.
take Tchouameni? Or Tchouameni? You would say no to Tchouameni?
We can't. If he got Tchouameni and Zubimendi, I would take Zubimendi happily.
What?
That's not the question. See how he changed to Jerry now? Because I threatened him. I will Batista bomb you through a table right now.
Like,
would you take Tchouameni at Liverpool?
England's
Personally, no. I would rather.
You wouldn't take Tchouameni at Liverpool.
No, don't add Zubimendi in it. If your option was you have Tchouameni or no one, you keep what you've got. You go to the shop. They've only got Tchouameni's in stock.
Life.
Tchouameni, yes or no?
I am.
How much is he?
But he doesn't want me.
Don't ask any other questions. It's not your money. Jerry has laid on the perfect question. It's Tchouameni or no one. Are you signing Tchouameni?
That's a different story, though.
Can you fucking answer?
Are you on the fence? Come on.
Look, if there's nobody else, then fine, I'll take him. But again,
I'll take him. Oh my
I'll take him. Like he's
one
one of the
round.
best DMs in the fucking world, bro. Come on, man.
Bro, we literally spent the last hour saying that we need someone that is press resistant and can dictate play and play good football. The reason why Madrid want him out is because he can't do what Toni Kroos did. That's the reason.
But we don't need a Toni Kroos.
He can do what Casemiro did easily.
Yeah.
So it's like.
So what was the whole point of this last hour if we kept us talking about dictating play?
Yeah, but I was saying in the 8. No, I'm saying he's saying in the 6. I'm saying we've got the players that can do that. They're just not doing it. That was my point.
Too many can play the 8.
I think if Liverpool had the Camavinga, it changes the dynamic completely.
Oh my god! If you get Camavinga, right?
Yes, we know it's an oh my god.
We're not buying anyone from Real Madrid. It ain't happening.
Camavinga.
But let's not lie here. It's also an oh my god if we get to. And
Mike,
also the reason why
I'm allowed to dream early. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and the reason why Tchouameni looks
is
like ass is not because of Kroos. It's because that team has no balance. They have 3. They played fucking Jude Bellingham right wing against Barcelona. And they tried to blame Tchouameni.
I know that, but
how many footballers in the world are like Kroos right now? They don't exist.
Husam, the reason, Madrid, yes, are they imbalanced 100%, but they don't have the dictator in the deep lying areas of midfield. Like Jude Bellingham is pissed off because he's being forced to essentially not go forward because Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vinicius are occupying the spaces that he was occupying, which is why he hasn't scored. Right, which is why he's angry. Also, he's had opportunities. He's just hit the post a couple of times and been unlucky. But it still doesn't change the fact that they're not in as much of a quantity as they were. Like Madrid fans will tell you that we're missing that Toni Kroos profile of player in this team that they have right now. The balance is probably because they have too many egos and they got a dickhead like Mbappe, who's the worst club football player on the planet, who only shows up every 4 years. And they thought that he would just magically cure all of their things, even though they already won a Champions League. And now they're just adding more shit to the fire.
Agenda, please.
Listen, I don't want to keep you guys for too long. It's like fucking, I know it's 1 a.m. in the UK right now.
Sorry.
It's 4 a.m. over here. I just want to end it with this because this is something I genuinely forgot to do for the last 2 weeks. So I apologize to everyone in the chat. Big up, by the way, this has been one hell of a fucking stream. Iconic stream, elite stream. Can't believe we had an Alisson debate. I thought we were going to debate Gakpo and Diaz. Fair enough. We debated Alisson in the end. I respect it. So we're going to wrap it up this way, you guys. Madrid at one time sold Odegaard, so they do sell players that might work. 100%. Not every player that Madrid or Barca sell is a dud.
Hakimi and Theo Hernandez.
Yeah, exactly. They sold Theo. Listen, we can go down the list of players that Madrid sold, and they'd make.
Marcos Llorente.
There's a reason why Ram is a fraud, and it's known worldwide. This guy just said maybe to Chouameni. I would bite your hand off for Chouameni. That guy is dying at Real Madrid.
You give it, Sam. I know he broke your heart, bro.
Chouameni in a pace and power league like the Premier League.
He doesn't want to be a red though. He doesn't want to be a red. There's no point in talking about this.
He doesn't want to be a red. He doesn't want to be a red. What if they don't want him to be a white? Then what? Where are he gonna go? He's just gonna stop playing football?
PSG. With Chelsea. Is he really going to play with Chelsea?
Suddenly PSG. Oh, he's Chelsea. Yeah. But by the way, Chelsea fans will tell you he ain't better than Lavia, so let's not even go there because they're delusional. Anyway. Okay, focus. Ram. Focus.
We also totally ignored Tyler Morton against Brighton, but whatever.
Yeah, Tyler Morton is so better than Chouameni. Now, let's just get to the power rankings, you guys. Top 5 Liverpool players based on this season so far. I want your 1 through 5. So it's just power rankings. This has nothing to do with ability, what you're capable of. Who do you think has performed the best, outperformed expectations, performing above expectations, winning us games, blah, 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 blah. So we start with number 1. Numero uno. Who's your number 1 this season?
Mo.
Salah.
Mo. It's not. I don't even think it's a debate.
Chat, get involved as well.
Virgil for me.
Okay.
Gravenberch. And it hits me saying that because last season
he's been far too poor over the last 3 games. His last 3 starts have been.
Look at his numbers, mate. Look at his numbers.
Bit harsh and poor. Bit
Look
average. Mediocre.
Comparison comparatively to his first 8 games, his last 3 games are it's just not the same level. And because
I am in agreement with Mike and Ram. I'm gonna still say Mo because I feel like his GA has either been winning us games and it's been coming in vital moments for us. Like the Chelsea game, the Arsenal game, the Bologna game, all of these, even though he might have not performed over a 90-minute period, in those moments, he still has won us the game. So I'm putting
without Mo, we are probably at like 14 points, 16 points. We would be sitting below Chelsea.
Yeah. He influenced way too many games this season. So I'm going to go put Mo in top spot. Second spot. Who are we going, guys?
Mo.
Virgil.
Obviously, so Jerry's going to put Virgil in second now that we voted Mo first. So I'd agree with that. I'd go Virgil second as well. This is now where this shit gets interesting. You see this 3 through 5? Think it through because this is formed this whole fucking season. So, third place.
Konate.
I would say Konate.
I'm gonna say Gravenberch. How are we just pushing past Gravenberch like this?
He's number 1.
Because the reason why Gravenberch is getting dropped below all these players for me is that he's had those 3 straight games of not being what he was, whereas all of those other players have had the same exact output in every single game that they have showed up in. Like that's it. Gravenberch has been phenomenal.
To be fair, we've had a couple of games I remember of Salah just not being as good. This is before
that's what I'm saying. Let's take it throughout the context of this whole
whole season. That's what I'm saying. But when we look at the whole season, I think Gravenberch's got to be there. Like
that's what I'm saying. Gravenberch is third.
I would put Gravenberch 5.
Are you out your mind, Mike? Seriously. Look at you, Mike. You need to look at his numbers because his numbers, his duels, his progressions, his passing. He's been on fire in every single game, even though you think he hasn't been good. The reason why you haven't seen him is because he's been that good and he's just been ticking away and keeping the team progressing. Like
I don't
know. Maybe subconscious bias has us thinking that Gravenberch. But here's the thing, though.
Unbelievable this season.
I'm not ranking Konate low. Konate is my 4th, but I'm still putting Gravenberch 3rd.
I think also, but is also Konate also plays into the fact of quality and expectations, because we didn't expect him to be this ball playing centre back. But all of a sudden now he's starting to spray balls left, right, and centre, which has surprised
If
me
you're
because
gonna
I
go
thought
with
he was more of a
expectations.
dramatic kind of player.
Okay, so we have. So Jerry's the deciding vote here. Gravenberch or Konate? Who's higher? Hi, Jerry. Who's the higher?
I know. I
Gravenberch.
know where he's going with it.
I'm going Gravenberch. Kmack has went Gravenberch. Ram and Mike has went Konate. I'm going Gravenberch, man. Has to be top 3. I'm sorry. He just has to be fucking top 3.
He has to be top 3. I have to go Gravenberch. Yeah, I'll go Gravenberch.
Can we have like a
Yeah.
joint third
So
or
then
something?
Ibu at 4.
Everyone
yeah,
agree?
Konate at 4th. I
Maybe
don't
they're
mind.
joint. Maybe they're joint then. Maybe it's Gravenberch and
No, we're not doing the fence sitting. You have
I would
decided
be
already.
fine. I would be fine. I would be fine with.
Ballon d'Or.
I would be fine with him at 3rd. I would be fine with him at 3rd if that guaranteed that Ibu's at 4th, because everyone thought that by now Ibu would be hurt, and he hasn't
How
been,
is-
and that defies all expectations.
How is Diaz not in the conversation?
I would put
He's
Diaz at
How
5.
good's Diaz been?
He's 5.
But I think that
Okay,
just shows how
first,
good our
does everyone
player
agree that before we get to 5, everyone agree Konate is 4?
Yeah.
I'd
Yes,
vote
he's
Konate.
fifth. He should be 5th.
Who's your 4th then?
Well, I've got Gravenberch, I've got Mo, I've got Virgil. What am I up to 4?
You'd put Diaz there now.
Diaz and then
Diaz.
Konate. Yeah?
Diaz, Konate.
I
Yeah,
just do the opposite.
Look, Konate's been really good, by the way, but he has had a couple of bozo moments, and he's had a few yellow
has made up
cards
for
as
it.
well.
He
And
has made up for it.
no, I understand that.
I'm putting
but-
Konate 4th, and I'm not
He
even
hasn't
putting
won
Diaz in
games.
this.
Right.
Listen, majority vote Konate, so we are democracy.
I
5th
mean,
place.
it's a great problem to have, by the way. Finding it
I'm
that
gonna throw
hard to
something in
pick
the air.
players.
Power rankings. My 5th is Curtis Jones.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I can't
Over
believe
Lucho. Over
I can't
Lucho.
believe it. Listen,
Nah, no, you see, I know Husam, yeah. Husam's a sneaky guy. He thinks he can get away with it. He's only propping Jones so he can push that Diaz agenda that he has right now. I know you.
Diaz
Husam.
agenda.
No,
Look
he's
at this
getting-
guy. He thinks I have a Diaz agenda.
First.
No, you can get destroyed now. You can see what has been. You realize I literally have created political relationships with the country of Colombia again. I don't have a Diaz agenda. Did you see my celebration for the goal?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you actually see it? Where is this fraud is talking about this Diaz agenda? Let me show you right here. Yeah, see,
He's
because
gonna
Ram, sometimes you have to destroy Ram. You get me?
The reason
Ram
why
deserves it.
the reason why I'm willing to say yes to Curtis is because
Fuck you, Ram.
Diaz was absent in our biggest game of the season so far.
Golazo.
I select the Colombian national anthem, you fraud. Fraud. Talking about have an agenda.
Ahí está Don Husam, uno de los críticos más fuertes de Lucho Díaz, cantando el himno de Colombia.
Told you. Creating
The
political
only-
relationships again.
Well, your mind.
But
did.
Curtis, no one expected this shit from him at all.
Yes, we
I'm
did.
putting him-
JJ did. I did.
JJ did.
You did. I
did.
didn't.
I
I
did.
did. Crap.
But Lucho also was absent in that. I thought that Lucho was dreadful against Arsenal, which
He
is
was
a
shit
huge
against
game.
Arsenal.
And Curtis Jones was actually good. And if Curtis Jones were playing deeper as the
Yeah.
left-sided
I
8, I
agree.
think Curtis Jones would have done way better
I
to
agree.
lock up Saka. And then also Lucho, I don't think that he was that good against Chelsea. So, in the biggest games of the season, Lucho has not looked better than Curtis Jones. And while Lucho has more appearances than Curtis Jones does, we also have to take into the expectations of what we had for him as a whole. I know, Jerry, that you have always been all in
The
on
expectation
Curtis
for
Jones.
Diaz was
But-
so on the ground, bro. Like,
The expectation. Okay,
But the thing,
go ahead.
the thing is with Diaz in that game, right? In the Arsenal game specifically, the problem Diaz had is although, he was like making fouls and Partey had a good job on him. Because Robertson was struggling so much at left back, right? He had to double up on Saka, which when he did, Saka again wasn't as impactful. After that goal, he didn't really do anything. Problem he had though, he was now allowing Partey to drift into the midfield and overload this midfield. because Robertson couldn't do his job, which I think originally was to go and deal with Saka 1v1 and allowed Luis Diaz to kind of cheat and then get the ball higher. Because when Diaz did get the ball higher, he beat Partey a few times. Problem was when Luis Diaz was getting the ball, it was in at half.
And you also had McAllister that got absolutely bossed.
And
Both of them were tracking
by
back.
Moreno.
McAllister and Curtis Jones should have swapped. It should have been
Yeah, they
Curtis
should have.
Jones as the left
Well, when
sided
they
eight
did-
and McAllister at the
When
time.
they did, we got a grip in the
if we could
midfield
have
again.
left Diaz higher, and I think if we could have left Diaz higher in the same position where Salah was getting the ball, I think it would have made for a better. We would have had a better outlet on either wings because Salah was able to go and pin Timber really, really high. Whereas when Diaz was getting the ball, he's getting it on Robertson's toes, having to try dribble past Partey. By that time, Partey had a really, really good game and just nullified him. And I think that's I don't know, tactically something we might have to just go and look at going forward.
Look at this guy. Diaz is crap. I don't need to go to Colombia. There you are. Listen,
Yeah,
I
man,
need to
I
create
love- I love
political
Lucho, man.
relations.
And his song
Bogota,
is
here I
poetic.
come. You get me. Big up to you. Red light. Fucking fraud. Okay, so we have to come to a consensus here. Democracy. I have laid out my opinion. Curtis Jones, I think, was our best midfielder against Arsenal and Chelsea. And he's made an impact I didn't expect him to make at all. So that's why I'm putting him fifth. That's
I
simple.
have him
man.
sixth. I have him sixth. I'm a Jones fan, but I have him sixth. I think Diaz.
Yeah, I'm sixth as well.
He needs to play
Okay,
more
see,
games to be
democracy.
top five.
Majority
Kim-
rules, democracy.
Yeah, democracy. No Kim Jong-un settings around here. This is
I
democracy.
have him ahead of McAllister, though. I have him ahead of McAllister.
No election tampering here, guys. This is
Yes,
very
there is
clear
there is
democracy.
no
All right,
tampering. There is
question. Where does
100%.
Soboslai rank in the power rankings?
I was going to ask Robert.
15.
Oh,
15.
in the
Robertson.
bin, in the bin, in the bin, in the bin.
Sam, what about Robertson, bro?
7th.
Robertson, 25th.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Robertson,
Right behind
Robertson,
Wataru Endo.
don't even
Right.
dignify Robertson with a spot on the power rankings. He's out of the power
Okay,
rankings.
can we not do this, please?
No,
Can you
what do you
stop
I
mean?
it?
just
Robertson
asked a
is
simple
good.
question. You didn't need to shit on it.
People, no, okay, here's the problem with Liverpool FC and Andrew Robertson. People think that the year is 2017. People think that someone's reputation holds up if their performances drop. You could be the best stock trader on the face of the earth. You could have made me $5 billion. If you start shitting the bed and losing me money consistently over time, I'm taking my money and I'm going to a different firm. It's that simple. Like, you've lost my trust. I'm grateful for everything that you did for me. I'm grateful for how good you were, but you're not that guy anymore because age happens. And it's very difficult to be that consistent over a super long period of time. I'm simply moving my money. But it's not a denotion of you. It's not a degradation of you. It's not an attack on your character. You can't do it anymore. And it's that simple. It's like, we're not shitting on him. It's just, I think it's unfair to continue to put him in these situations and make him look worse and worse when he's not the same guy that he was.
That's fair.
I'm thinking about it now. Above Robertson, I would probably put Trent, Alisson, Kelleher, Jaros, Kwanzaa.
Okay,
Gomez.
no, we get it. We get it. We get it. We get it.
Nunes.
We get it.
Jota.
Over him. You put Kwanzaa over him.
Oh,
Ooh.
hell yeah. Because Kwanzaa's 21. No one expects shit from him. He's a young centre back. I'm allowing him to make mistakes.
I'm going to
Yeah.
say something wild, by the way.
Listen,
I'm gonna say
let
something wild.
Saka cut into his left foot in his own fucking penalty box.
We
You
get
Hey,
it.
that's a bozo move. That's a move.
He's
I would
29
Lewis Kelly to
fucking
make.
years old.
Lewis
Premier
Kelly should be
League
making that
winning
move.
left back, 29. Everyone in the planet knows Saka's gonna cut it into his left foot, except Andy Robertson, who had to fucking defend him all game long. Listen, I've had enough. Simicast tomorrow. I know you're not gonna let me down. Simicast is gonna get a GA tomorrow. I promise the word.
If he does something stupid, I swear to God, Sam, I am coming for you, bro.
We're not flipping this
You're getting
table.
cooked.
We're not flipping this table because if Simicast creates one goal scoring opportunity, it's already 900,000 times better than any kind of performance Andrew Robertson could
Nah,
possibly.
Facts.
this is just
Facts.
right now, bro. This
You know, Ram, you might not know this, but me and Mike rarely agree. We've agreed like a lot on this Robertson thing. That shows you how a lot of people had enough of him.
Hey, I want a new left back. You heard it here. I want a new left back.
Oh, wow.
Robert
Thank
Sanchez,
you,
I want
genius.
left back
I've been
sold.
singing for a new left back for a long
Yeah, the
time.
whole world wants a new left back, but right
Robertson is going through the
now, in
same
January,
thing
there is no new
Jordan
left
Henderson
back.
went through. Jordan
That is
Henderson
in January.
is Andrew Robertson, and Andrew Robertson is Jordan Henderson.
Can
He
we
was
not-
great,
can we not
and
do
he
that?
shouldn't have been great, but he was great, and then he was shit. And we all just
Mike,
ignored the fact that he
Mike,
was
you're doing
shit,
too
and we
much now.
allowed this fucking pile of shit to sit
Mike,
in our
you're
room.
doing
It's
too
time
much.
to clean the shit.
You're doing too much.
You might end up
This is
playing
where
with
you're taking
Henderson.
the piss.
I don't think I'm doing too much because I really do think he's
Robertson,
too
I actually have
talented.
the solution for you. Al-Ittifaq, here we come. I'll teach you Arabic, Habibi. Just call me, you get me. So, listen, on that note, this has been one hell of a stream, you guys. I've really had fun doing this today. Big up to all of you guys in the chat. Big up to my amazing panelists. Big up every single super chatter. Big up to you. Thank you so much, Tron. Big up to you as well, dropping in the 100-piece earlier on. Big up to Tron, Tarek, Ed, Tip, Faraz, and Nilotpal for the super chats. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. And tomorrow, inshallah, I want to see you in my chat when Simikas gets an assist.
They
You will
keep
come in
saying
my chat and
respect.
apologize directly. That you're
Me.
gonna fucking apologize at once. I'm telling you right now. So
To me.
yeah, but I had so much
I
fun
was talking
today.
to him.
Calling
Not
a
you.
legend a
Oh.
piece of shit. What do you mean calling a legend a piece of shit? I'm not talking about what Robertson was when he was a good. I'm talking about Robertson
You just
today.
said he's
Today.
an average footballer who can't
Today.
be good. You just said that.
Today he is a piece of shit. He was the best left back. He was the best left back in the world, but it's not 2017. It's 2024. It's time to move on. It's time to progress. Move forward.
Scottish Mafia
Change.
coming for you. Hey,
Can we just say that he just needs to do the Fernandinho stuff?
hey, Mike, don't go to Scotland. You know they're gonna cook you for the Robertson takes. Hey,
I
big up.
think,
He might
dude, honestly, if you take that as disrespect, then you just like to ignore reality and live in the past. And if that's the way you want to live,
like haggis.
go for it.
I'll tell you what.
Listen, on that note, Mike, that's LFC.
A good question.
Yeah.
Someone wrote in the chat. Will Milner play tomorrow?
I'd love it if he plays. We'd run past them. That would be amazing. Big up Milner. I love Milner. I have no bad word to say about him. But yeah, I do agree with the Henderson thing though. Hey, me and Mike agreeing today. He knows ball now. Big up to all of you guys. Mike Das LFC is in the chat. Kmack channel is in the chat. Jerry James's channel is in the chat as well. The Ram stand is in the chat. One day he's gonna actually upload something, the Ram stand, and I will be in the comment section, inshallah, if he ever uploads something, decides, to upload something. And I'm gonna be back tomorrow, inshallah. I have a Newcastle Arsenal watch along. I've got a Liverpool Brighton watch along. I've got a incredible panel show at 9:15 p.m. UK time as well tomorrow after the games. I've got George coming on. I've got Marshall coming on. Vater, Griggs. We have an unbelievable show planned. And yeah, the pre-records as well. Tomorrow's hell in terms of work. So yeah, I'll see you guys then, inshallah. And yeah, big up to big up the Scottish people in the chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bro, I want to go to Scotland. This is not revoking my visa.
Oh, it's over for
I'm
you.
just speaking facts.
It's
It's all
over.
good.
Bye bye.
It's all good. Up the Celtic.